Question for you. Actually, both of you.
Yes.
I have a friend who is toying around with dating, trying to do like a little dating website. And it really got me thinking because I was setting it up for them and I was doing the age range. And then I thought, if I were using a dating app right now, what would my age range be? And guys, I'm 35, so just want to put that out there.
Okay.
So I'm curious. Everyone needs to go around and give their age.
Okay.
And like, what would your age range be? Like, I don't think about it because when you're in your 20s, you're not like, my age range is going to be 17 to 27.
Well, I certainly hope it's not 17.
Well, no, I know, but that's what I'm saying. You don't think about it because you're just trying to date older or dating your age.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
guys, I mean, I can't believe I had a revelation today. I woke up and I went, oh, what would my dating age range be? But no, sincerely, I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, everyone listening is going to be like, this is the least interesting thing on the fucking planet. But
I think I have what my age range would be.
Because we were born out of the dating apps and stuff. Like, that is our generation.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We were the first.
Plenty of Fish is the first one I remember using.
I remember my mother doing that Great Expectations where you'd have to go and record.
What is that?
It was a dating service before like dating websites.
Oh, you had to like call a phone number or something?
There'd be like phone numbers. You would go.
It's like American Idol.
Yeah.
You would record a VHS tape of like your interview of like you're talking about yourself. And then there'd be a booklet, a binder of like headshots that, because my mom was a single mom most of the time, except when, joint custody, whatever. And I'd go with her on the weekends. She'd take me with her to go to the Great Expectations, and then she'd go through the binder, and then she would be like, okay, I'm interested in these two guys or these three guys. And then they'd pull the VHS tapes and she'd watch them, and then she'd tag them, and then they would get an alert and they'd have to watch hers. And if they liked her, it was like, the pigeon carrier style, or the carrier pigeon style of what we do now with swipe left, swipe right. Because now it's gamified.
You know what's so sad is that sounds so complicated, but nothing has felt more right to me in my life. Pulling out a VHS, plugging it in, and being like, does this match? I love it.
And then halfway through, it spritzes out, and like the Lion King is behind it or something that they did a record over.
Yep. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, I swear to God, it was either me or my sister or somebody. We recorded over to the finale of Cheers.
Oh, not right.
Or maybe, I don't know.
Anyway, to get back to your question. So for me, I'm 37. What? I think my
37
age...
so young.
I know,
I'm teasing.
Hopefully my age range will be reflective of how I mentally view myself.
I'm like the girls on the Roni trip.
She's like, speaking of 17.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. But I also felt like the women on Roni, they're like, no, you're young.
You're young. You're not old.
You're not old. You're young.
No.
You're beautiful. Who cares that you don't have eyelashes?
Your skin is
You're
fine.
crazy. You're beautiful.
Oh, God.
So I'm 37. I'd probably put my range of 25 to 42.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I don't mean to laugh, but if you could see Lauren's face. Lauren was a little bit shocked.
What? Me?
Yes. It wasn't the initial answer. It was the reaction of Lauren. And listen, I know there's some people out there that want us to get some cameras up in here, and eventually we will. So you can be in on these facial expressions.
We are working on that.
For the meantime, I'm gonna let you know what I'm seeing on the inside. And the face was like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, guys, we're working on cameras. We could just put up our iPhones or something, but we're producers, and Betsy is now our PA. And so she's part of the team.
And I have a flip phone, so
Camera PA.
We're really gonna take our time with that because we want to look good.
Do it right.
Honestly, I'm telling you.
Is that shocking?
No. But I go back to that limo scene. I like your shoes. To Eileen Davidson. I just
nice.
I just wasn't expecting 25, I think.
You expected what, like 28, 27, 30?
I was I was thinking
30.
Like 27, 28, maybe 29, maybe 36.
I was expecting
I'm teasing.
36 and a half to 38.
By the way, we're going to get fucking reviews saying that we're pedophiles over here.
No, we're all joking.
We are all joking. Well, no, you're not joking.
25 is of
Well,
age.
we were joking about the 17-year-old stuff. Okay, guys.
We were. So this is going to be rated NC-16. No, but I obviously don't care. But I was just like surprised. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
When you said
Make you feel young
37 and then
again.
went 25, that hit hard. You know,
I mean, the age difference hits hard too, but mentally, I feel like I'm like 28 still. So I'm like, I don't know.
I'm sure you do.
Yes, I know that I have a childish quality to me.
Oh, that's not even where I was going with that.
Oh, then I don't know where you're going with that, nor do I want to.
Betsy, we need to stop for a second.
Okay.
Are you okay?
This is now the therapy.
Yeah, it's a therapy session. Guys,
I am
fuck
doing
SLC. We're free therapy.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Okay, so 25.
I'd say like that's the base. Would I go for every 25-year-old? No, but I want to, open up the range to just see.
Look, your benchmark is frontal lobe, and that's it. And we're good.
We're good on frontal
We're
lobe at 25.
good. We're good.
You know?
We're good.
All right, Bets, what would your age range be? State your age and the range.
Well, I'm 35. Lauren and I are actually like almost a month apart from each other.
We are
That's right.
celebrating my
So-
birthday soon.
Coming up soon.
Yeah.
This retrograde is killing me.
She's a month older than I am, which is why she's so much wiser.
Sure.
Yeah. You are.
Sorry, didn't mean to laugh that hard.
It's okay. You want
No,
to
you
date
are.
like Luann de Lesseps. I know you just want to date my niece's friends.
Oh, God.
Hey, kept Carol young.
It did. She got well more than 5 more summers.
Hell yeah,
She had like
did.
10 more summers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Listen, if we're talking about dating men, I can absolutely go nowhere under 30, 31. I can't do that.
oh,
They
God,
need to
no.
at least be 31, 32. I'm at 33.
Oh, I was going to say, like, they have to at least be 37.
Yeah, I'm going
because
to say
then
30,
maybe they'll-
33 has to be the cap. And then I would go up to like 40,
Honestly,
42.
wheelchair. So that way you're in full control. And
Which can be any age.
And we can call you
No,
Erica.
but it's different because it's like very
You know?
Stockholmy. Like they're there with you. They're in the wheelchair. They're very confined. I just think wheelchair is really your benchmark. It's Bren's benchmark.
Yeah, Brent and I are the exact same. But then post Taylor Swift, my sexuality might be changing a little bit. I think I could go a little bit younger for a woman, but
Okay.
I don't know that I could go. Sorry, Yips, I don't know that I could go 25.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But to each their own, baby. To each their own. Maybe like a 28, 29.
Okay.
All right.
To 50.
Okay.
Hopefully,
All right.
because
Jenna Lyne's just outside the cap.
well, I mean, how old is she? 50?
55.
55.
Oh, okay, 55. I mean, I could whatever.
All right,
Yeah,
Lauren.
what about you, Lauren? Let's turn the tables.
Oh, please. It's not going to be that hard. I would say 29 and a half, going on 30.
Oh.
I knew it was going to be so specific like that.
Yeah,
Of course it is.
And then we're going to have to get
Fucking
that. It must be
annoying.
this sign.
Because I really thought about it. I was like 30,
only
but I'm like,
date.
no, but what if I meet them when they're about to be 31? So I'm good on like the 29. We'll say 29.
Okay.
29 from where I'm at right now. Also, I'm 35. I'm about to be 36. Might as well just start saying it now. I'm getting used to it.
Damn. Back on the evens.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to going older, but if I had to benchmark it, I would say maybe like 42.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to meeting somebody who's like 46, 47.
Yeah.
But
All
I just find that really interesting.
Yeah.
So EP went younger and I definitely went older. Wow.
Well, we had the same. I said 42 or
I went old
as,
it.
as
Oh, you
my
did?
as my cap.
She did. She
Yeah.
did say 42.
I
Oh, I
said
didn't
25 to
hear the-
42.
you got
Wow.
tripped up on she's saying she was 37.
I think I got tripped up on the 25.
Yeah, she stopped listening after 25. And
I was
Y'all,
like-
that's when her face.
she probably thought
got-
I said 25 to 29 as my range or some shit like that.
Yeah, I did.
Her face got activated after that. So
I didn't think you said 29. I think I thought you said like 30s, like late 30s.
No, I would go up to 42.
Truthfully, I blacked out after you said 25.
Look, guys.
I mean, Christ. You and Rinna, depends and diapers. Why not? Why not?
Good, yeah.
No, but
why not?
But I really was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, I'm just in a different
Well,
era of my life.
it's
so I've
also
never
just
thought about
like
it.
dating platforms are so tricky because you have to have these regiments in place. Like, oh, I'll only date, for EAPs like 25 to 42. But because you have to have these in place to like, try to swipe and find things. But like if you meet somebody out organically, I think a lot of that kind of
Oh, I don't give a
can
fuck
go
about
out the
any of that.
window.
Yeah, totally.
You're not gonna be like, well, how old are you? Nope. Okay,
No.
you're not in my range. Never mind. It's like you're gonna see what happens and where it goes.
Or,
Organically.
I like blondes, but you're a brunette. I can't like you. No, it's
No,
like,
no,
you
no.
meet people, you have chemistry. You have there's an energy.
Yeah. Sometimes-
Organically, I don't give a fuck how old you are as long as you can drink.
Yeah.
right?
Well, right.
You get the 21, right?
Yes.
But I don't know.
yeah. Anyway,
I never really thought about it. And by the way, the dating apps have changed. There's
well,
all these random subscriptions. Honestly, it's
Is
like
there?
it's like podcasting. Like you can have a subscription. It's like dating websites like Patreons, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3.
You have to pay for it?
Jesus.
Fuck yeah. When I
Nah.
was on the dating apps,
I did all the free shit.
it was just free shit.
It was free. At one point, Tinder
And Bumble did it.
was a paid. And I remember
But it was $3.
my guy friend signed me up for the Tinder subscription because they had reached their limit. And I was at a bachelor party. It was a joint bachelor party with two of my guy friends.
Wait,
who
why
were
did you need that?
They were all either getting married or in relationships. So I, as the single one in the group who dates women, they would always get drunk and be like, give me your phone. I want to swipe. I want to see what's that. Like, just because being stupid.
What are we
I
So we were
see.
at the bar,
I don't care
wasted at a
about
bachelor
that.
party,
Yeah.
and they've swiped and they've reached the limit, and they're like, fuck it, we're buying you a subscription.
Yeah, fuck it.
With my money, but, you know.
Yeah, well.
With your money?
That's
Well, it was on the
suggestion.
app, so it did to my subscriptions in my Apple.
What happened to you that night in Central Park in your teenage years? I feel like
What night in Central Park in my
you
teenage
came
years?
into
Wait.
all your wild stories.
Wait, we got to pause this. And
Gallivanting
put this on
around.
the one under paywall.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, if you want to know.
Beep.
Gallivanting as a teen at the Palace Hotel.
Yeah, it was more the Palace than it was Central Park.
You told me a couple
Central
stories about
Park.
Central Park.
There
But
were maybe a couple. of
Central
ones.
Park.
Central Park.
Anyhow.
Perks of the perk.
But yeah, like I wouldn't.
I'm so far removed.
I've
I
met
don't
people
even
out in the
know.
wild and they're younger than I thought or older.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's all what you're
Think about
looking
it. Same.
for. So,
But yeah, the dating apps have changed. There's a subscription for everything.
well, good luck to your friends.
Bumble
Sounds terrible.
Bumble Premium is $20 a month.
Fuck off.
What?
Yes.
Fuck
That
off.
is fucking wild.
No, a week.
What?
Yeah.
It's
No,
$20 a week.
I would never pay for anything more than I pay for Netflix. And granted, I don't even pay for Netflix.
My
so
friend-
there's that.
I
I
was
the
in-
argument is that Netflix doesn't get you laid.
I don't know.
No.
I mean,
I had encouraged my friend to get the premium because they were running a 50% off deal and it was only $9. And I was like, oh, that's not bad. I mean, that's expensive, but a dating app, $10 a month, whatever. Well, then I look closer and it's $10 a week.
they don't want you to pay attention to that.
And that's 50% off. So it's usually 20 a week.
Correct.
That's
all
disgusting.
right. Absolutely
Correct.
not.
So
Bumble.
the Bumble Boost, which is just a tier lower, is only like $5 a week, $3 a week.
So do that.
Yeah.
100%.
Also, Bumble's headquartered here in Austin.
Are they?
Oh, I did know that. I
Yes.
did know
I
that.
didn't know that.
And it's a female company, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
I could get
spacing
behind
on her
that.
name, but the chick who's a billionaire now, and I said woman, who I think is younger than me. She actually went to SMU, so we were probably around each other at some point. But the woman who invented and created Bumble was on the team that invented and created Tinder.
Makes sense.
Well,
So she
yeah.
pieced out.
And she found things to make it kind of unique and different. Like I do love it's if you're using it heterosexually,
Yeah.
that if you match, it always has to be the woman,
woman,
who reaches
yeah.
out first.
Mm-hmm.
Which
If
is
you're
great.
Yeah.
a woman looking for a woman, well, then that shit goes out the window. But I think it's a great
What
concept.
about a man looking for a man?
I
Also,
imagine
shit goes
it's
out the
the
window.
same.
No
Yeah.
one can reach out. They're not allowed.
Yeah. They just
You
block
can
it.
match.
You're blocked
and
instantly.
look at you from afar.
Also, and I know I'm going to sound archaic, but it's really been a long time since I've used a dating app. The last time I used one was Raya, which I still have. We were all actually hopping on my Raya earlier just to like swipe through to see like
Well, I
who's
couldn't
on
even
it.
No, I
swipe.
want to fucking
I
get
couldn't
on
even
that and
figure out how to
swipe.
do that.
But
I tried to swipe and it wasn't working, so I was doing something wrong.
oh, it
Because I was trying to scroll,
like-
but
it's
you know what I mean?
I say this in bunny ears. It's really fancy, and you have like a song, and it's like a
whole thing.
slideshow, and it's like a whole fucking thing. The
Well,
bells
this
and whistles.
bitch, I remember we were working on a show together when you signed up for Raya.
That's right.
And myself and a colleague of ours.
Well, I was visiting. Y'all because I was about to go to Nashville to do Very Cavallari.
That's right. And you were
Yeah.
passing through
Yes.
Charleston. And you came for a weekend and we were all out, whatever.
It was a
and we
cookie
were,
show in Charleston, guys, not Southern Charm.
It was, yes, it was. And myself and my friend and colleague were talking about how like we both had applied to Raya like a year and a half prior and been waitlisted. And like
Waitlisted.
we have people who follow us like blue check accounts before you could buy them. Like
Guys, we're
a lot of
connected.
it was social imprint stuff. And like
Don't
we had
brush your
both
shoulders
been
off.
fucking just waitlisted. This bitch comes into town. She's like, I'm going to try to sign up.
This bitch is me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say, let's clarify.
And then before you left for that weekend, so it was like within 24 hours,
It was-
you got approved.
It was the next day.
And I just want to say retroactively, fuck you.
Yeah,
I'm still, by the way, if I downloaded it, I'd still be waitlisted.
we were on Folly Beach.
We were on Folly.
And we were doing like, what is it called? Miami Vices.
Oh, that's right. We're on that rooftop.
That was a really fun time.
That was a fun time.
And I just casually was like, you know what? Fuck it.
I'm going to do it.
I
I'm
don't
going to
want to get on Raya. I just want to see.
And then less than 24 hours later, she's a member.
Look at her now.
Look at the
her
gloat.
now.
That face, that is the face of gloating.
Yeah.
Guys, if you
Anyway.
could see me right
Another
now, I'm wearing
face
a
the
muumuu.
viewers won't see.
You don't want to see this face today. Okay. But yeah, all that to say, Raya is only $7 a month. And Bumble's 20.
Wow.
I do think that, look, if you're looking for love and you're really committed to really wanting, you know, you're Lindsay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're in, I don't know if that was a good example. I'm so sorry. But you know, you're in that headspace where you're just like, you're 37.
Yeah.
You're just
You want to meet
ready
someone who's also serious and ready to
Exactly.
settle
I
down.
I think what you should do is go apply for a dating show.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
don't.
kidding.
The Bachelor.
I think $20 a week for that type of, I think it could be worth it.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, look, I guess it depends on what the perks or what the features are, what the access is in relation to the middle or the other tier. I don't know. It just seems like a lot. Whenever I paid for dating apps back in the day,
Match.com.
fuck you.
Coins.
Was I on Match?
What
No, I
the
wasn't.
fuck is coins?
What is coins? I've never heard
Thing.
that.
I was just saying I would only pay coins, like, you know.
Oh, I
here
thought
and
coins
there.
is a dating site. I was like,
Oh, maybe,
oh,
maybe
I don't
it
really
could
know.
be.
What
No,
kind of
but
dating site is
the
that?
surprise of both y'all, I don't even know. Coins, baby. Meaning I'll pay almost next to nothing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So like 50 cents.
Well,
But it's all what you're looking for.
Totally.
I think, to Lauren's point, like if you are looking for something very serious and you're ready to settle down, I think
Yeah.
it's worth the money.
Yeah.
If you're just looking to fuck around, I wouldn't pay money for that.
Or you're just casually slow burning.
Yeah, seeing what's out
dating.
there, you're
I
open
don't
to
know.
whatever. I'm okay
Yeah.
not paying for that.
I
as
don't
well,
think you need
too.
to pay for the premium. I think that's expensive. So
yeah.
you know.
Well, speaking of people who may be needing to look for love,
Okay.
Mauricio, have you guys seen the rumor that he is going to be on Dancing with the Stars this season?
No, are you serious?
Yeah. So, oh my
Wait,
God, I can't
what?
believe I've gotten this without
Wait.
either of you.
Wait.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
Did you fact check each? How do we not know about
I
this?
was researching podcast stuff. Guys, I pulled an all-nighter because I was reading all night about podcast stuff. And I was not rarely. This is how you know I haven't slept. I was kind of just meandering through Instagram, but not really focused.
Mhm.
And I caught a glimpse of a picture of Mauricio, but it was like weird. And I was like, oh,
Was
whatever.
it a side by side? And one is that he's kind of covered, and then
Yes.
okay,
Yes. What is this?
So what they were saying is that the picture with the sheet or the coat over that
Mhm.
person's head,
Yeah.
was them walking out of the studios or the rehearsal or whatever for Dancing with the Stars. But you can't see that person's face, but you see their wrist and you see the series of bracelets, the two red bead ones
It's
and then
Mo.
the other ones. And the side by side is later that day, or in another instance, a picture of Mo with those exact same bracelets. This is not like this is a stack of different bracelets. It is
No,
him.
and you know we've worked with him, and he just dresses like that,
100%.
and he looks like that all the
he-
time. He's so hot.
is so
He
hot.
is
Sorry, Mauricio.
I
Why are you apologizing for that?
like, I
fucking
don't know.
love Mo.
I don't like. I don't.
Well, I guess you know him personally. I mean, he is.
No. I don't know him like personally. I shot some scenes with him, and he's wonderful. And we would work with him a lot on my real estate show. But I don't know. I think I feel weird sometimes, and I'm like, oh, you know, unless I have like a connection with you as a cast member. Like Madison
You're,
LaCroix, I'd be like, "Ugh, damn, you look fucking hot, bitch. Because she would. And I
She's
would
like,
mean
yeah.
it. Because I'd see her and I'm like, I just want to look like that. Guys, if you've ever seen Madison LaCroix in person, I don't know how to
Oh, she's
explain it to you.
beautiful.
She
so
is,
I mean, I've never
hot.
seen her in person, but she's beautiful on TV.
She's just perfection. Anyway.
She is. But yeah, so Mo, I mean, it hasn't been
Wow.
confirmed by ABC Disney, but
Whatever.
like Mo and Ariana on Dancing with the Stars.
They
this
need another
season.
Bravo person on
They
there.
do, and he's a good one.
I think that he's going
Is he gonna
going to be
split?
probably because of
Wow.
Kyle. It's going to be like an homage
Mm-hmm.
to Kyle and her splits. And then it's Splitsville. And then they're going to get divorced after that. But the thing is that Mauricio's so much fun.
Oh my God, he really
I
is.
just
I
think
believe
I
it.
think one, we're gonna have the best time watching him, and two, he's just gonna have the best fucking time doing it.
Oh, he's going to have a blast.
He's the
Yeah.
reason that I can stomach Kyle in solo scenes.
Okay, I need you to shut the fuck up.
I'm just.
Don't you come for her,
I'm-
Kyle.
I need you to shut your
being-
mouth when you're talking to me.
I absolutely will fucking not.
No,
He's
I
the reason
know.
that I can stomach her if the separation happens, I don't know what I'm going to do with Kyle, but I love.
I think Mauricio will still be around.
Well, here, I've actually been a fan of Dancing with the Stars for the past several seasons. I obviously was
the past 20 years.
No, I was a very late comer, so I've only watched like 3 seasons. But I'm interested to see how the voting is going to work. I wonder if like the Bravo community is going to feel a little split. Well, you can vote for 2 people, so maybe it doesn't matter. Because I feel like people love.
Oh, you can vote for 2 people?
Yeah.
Oh.
You have up to 10 votes, and you can split them. You can split
put
them
all
however
10
you want.
towards
You can
one,
give all
or
10 to Ariana. You can do 5 to Ariana, 5 to Mauricio. So
I didn't know that.
And who knows if they actually count them? You know, it could be
the VMA
it could be an
voting is,
illusion.
too.
Is it?
Yeah, when you go online and vote for VMAs.
So here's what I'll say. Do they win money on Dancing with the Stars?
Oh, I don't know.
Or they just win the trophy?
That's
and
a
the
really
clout.
good question.
I think they, without knowing, I feel like they win the trophy and the clout, but I don't know.
I don't think they win money.
I've never really read much
So there's
into
not really
it.
a standards and practice.
Right.
That they have to
My money
abide
is still
by.
on Ariana, unless the buzz is kind of dying down. We also don't know anybody else that's on it.
I'm fine
The
with
only
that.
one that we really know is Ariana,
Love that.
and now maybe Mauricio.
And they were smart to announce her right away.
They were.
Yeah, so guys, real
I can't
quick.
wait to see that.
Well, Ariana? and
Dancing with the Stars, yeah.
Me too.
And Mauricio.
Now, you're going to have to get Disney Plus. Do you have it?
I have Disney Plus
okay, great.
because my sister has everything.
Okay, great. Love that.
We're big Dancing with the Stars fans.
I'm seeing that. Wow.
Huge.
Huge. I just think Mauricio might do really well, or he's going to have 2 left feet. I can't tell.
I feel
think
like
the Latin
I
blood.
think he's
I feel
gonna
like
have
he's
some
going to be able
rhythm.
to move. I think he's going to have rhythm.
Yeah.
But he might be stiff and like, because you have to do all these different types of dances. So he might be stiff in some of them.
Hold on.
but-
They film in LA though. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's popping an edible before, and he is coasting clear.
I don't know if popping an edible and doing an entire dance routine is the best idea.
Now-
Well, microdose.
Is Kyle
As we saw
going to be
Mauricio.
there?
Of
Think
course
so?
she is.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Of course she is.
If Sophie Turner shows up to Joe Jonas's concert
Okay,
here, by
I
the way,
know.
the day after they're talking about getting divorced and the day before they get divorced, they file for it.
Yeah.
She's going to be there.
Question for you, executive producer, because your mom was in PR. Now I know she was in music PR, so it's very different.
Yes.
But can you explain perhaps like why we got the rumors about the divorce the day before?
Mm-hmm.
We heard that Joe Jonas was
Consulting attorneys.
consulting and finding attorneys.
Filing, yeah.
The next day's the concert. We see her. Then the next day they announce they're getting divorced. Why is that? Why? What would be the reasoning behind that?
I think that it is a
He
PR
wore the
move.
ring to the concert.
I think it's a PR move. Whoever leaked that he was pursuing, that they were headed towards divorce, was probably not either one of them directly. I'm sure it was someone affiliated with his camp, but I don't
I'm
know
sure
if
she didn't know.
She may have not known.
I have some strange feeling. Why? I don't know. Am I insane?
Maybe. I mean, it
maybe she
feels
did.
like-
She went to the concert.
I mean, it feels like to me the sort of thing where it's like, look, this story's already getting legs. It's already taking off out there. And we know that this is coming, but we want to control it as much as possible. So if she had been absent and he wasn't wearing his ring and then files the next day, it just feeds another 24-hour news cycle. Whereas by her showing up, regardless of what's actually happened behind closed
Sure.
doors and
Yeah.
what led to the deterioration of the marriage, having her show up seemingly supportive or being supportive, and then filing the next day plays into the idea of like amicable split
Yeah.
because they have kids,
Yeah. I
and
gotcha.
everything that any public person does lives on forever now. So
No, and I totally could wrap my head around that. I think for me, it was like, it's just one day.
I know it was weird.
It just kind of felt weird. I think it was maybe a misstep. Like maybe they thought it'd be longer and they're like, fuck it, let's just announce it now. It just felt weird to not wear the ring. And then all of a sudden in Austin, Texas, he's doing his concert. Sophie's here. He's wearing his ring. I'm like, what?
Oh, it was in Austin?
oh yeah, it was
I
at the
didn't know
Moody
that.
Center.
At the Moody Center.
Oh,
They were here like a few days ago.
Yeah, they were down the
I
street.
missed Sansa.
Sansa.
Who?
Sansa Stock.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what she
yeah.
plays. I finally got into her character.
Does she still have the dog?
Oh, I don't know.
Lady?
I don't know anything about that.
Been a long time since they filmed that. When was
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Guys, I haven't
but
watched the last season. So.
That's the reality.
But-
Yeah.
Sorry.
I hope that,
wow.
I hope that lady's still alive and with us.
What kind of dog is Lady?
Like a wolf
like
dog.
a wolf dog, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm retiring from this conversation.
Moving on.
But,
Guys, real quick before we get into it, because I don't know, I kind of found myself a little pleasantly surprised at the end of this episode, but we just got the reunion seating chart for Real Housewives of Orange County. You ready for it?
drop it.
Okay, so obviously Andy's in the middle.
Shocker.
Tamara, Heather,
Of course.
Shannon
Next to Tamara?
next to Tamara,
Okay.
Emily next to Shannon, and then Taylor at the end.
Okay.
And then on the other side, obviously we have Heather, Gina, Jen.
Okay.
So one
Are we
side
missing
is Heather,
someone?
Gina, Jen, and
No.
then Tamara.
I mean, Vicky, but maybe Vicky comes out.
That's what it is.
Maybe
Vicky
Vicky
will
comes
come
out
out.
like on
Because
a...
they're leaving space, and I'm like, wait, there's somebody missing. That's right. Vicky will come out.
It's
Okay.
weird it's weird that Taylor, though, has a permanent seat. But I guess she's been part of a lot of it. Even though she's
Well,
really been in
Give
almost
the girl an orange.
no
I
drama,
think-
but...
Well, Mary Saul is a part of the entire reunion.
Was she though?
Yes.
Was she on the scene? I think there was one act,
They-
like literally.
It's okay, but the act is legitimately 2 minutes and like 23 seconds.
yeah,
Listen,
it's like
it's an intro package.
It's intro and one person's intro package, and then they cut,
Correct.
and then Mary Saul.
And then they
Listen.
bring Mary Saul in. I mean,
As
it's
she
just
should.
like,
Oh, we've all been in agreement that we've actually been really pleasantly surprised by Taylor. We've all really liked her, but I don't think we can compare her to a Marisol.
no,
Like,
no, 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 no.
Marisol deserves, because she's really wrapped in. She's in a lot of the drama with
and
all
like
the women.
Adriana and stuff.
Like, I'm trying to think of Taylor. As much as I've liked Taylor this season, the only real kind of conflict she had has been, up to this point
Mm-hmm.
has been with Heather, which hopefully we don't talk much about at the reunion.
We will.
God.
God.
Here's what I'll say though
I am
about
BB.
Here's what I'll say about Taylor. I totally agree. I would never compare her to a Marisol.
Yeah.
I was more just comparing that it's happened before and it's
Friends
not
of, yeah, yeah, yeah.
implausible
Yeah.
for that to or implausible for that to happen.
Yeah.
I think that no, Taylor's not involved in a whole lot of stuff, but I think that she offers a very nice foil and about like a bouncing partner
Okay.
for different types of topics.
Yeah.
Because she just doesn't always like she's not one of those where she's radical and kind of just agrees with everything on one side or the other. She's in a lot of ways kind of fair to me like Emily.
Yeah, she lives
Yeah.
in the middle.
So I think that she'll offer a nice
Balance.
balance and reprieve
All right,
for the
I'm cool with that.
conversation.
And it's
Because
also
she
nice-
does participate a lot.
Yeah, and to that point too, when you get someone in who's a new cast member on a show, typically they're just new to television, but you have someone who has had experience on several seasons
Yeah.
of
She gets it.
not only Housewives, well, I guess both Housewives, but also like Ultimate Girls Trip. So she understands the, I don't want to say the game, but like
But she
understands
does.
the game. And so she's not coming in like trying to figure out, well, how do I make myself known and how do I do this, which so many first season cast members
Especially
fall-
friends of.
especially friends of.
Hello, Tracy Barber. R.I.P.
Oh boy. I mean, they cut her out of
on
the whole
that
reunion.
wooden chair.
Well, first of all, why the
We don't
fuck-
need her.
They put her in the chair. I swear to God, they knew they were going to cut her out.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Because that chair was weird. I was like, that we would never see that.
But isn't Tiki with NBC
Yeah.
on the Today Show?
Yeah.
So they probably just did it as like, oh, it's okay. We're just gonna we'll just cut around her.
Yeah.
I've been watching Hard Knocks and Tiki made an appearance.
Tiki showed up to training camp.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that.
Love
Betsy
them.
won't watch Hard Knocks because she cannot stand
I did.
Aaron Rodgers.
I did watch a couple episodes.
And
did.
I am
You
coming
watched-
around heavily to Aaron
You
Rodgers. so
watched
I'm
an
very
episode
sorry.
with me.
fan,
I am.
It's all right. Eeps and I are still.
No, it's not all right for me to be a Jets fan.
Wow.
Eeps and I are kind of working on our relationship because
Yeah,
we're getting into football season, and she and I are on opposite sides. But I tried to tell her that I could be a Jets fan because as a Cowboys fan, I don't have anything directly against the Jets.
Yeah,
but
and then
when-
proceeded to tell me that she likes two of the three
Who has
other
anything against the Jets? They never win.
teams in my division more than the Jets.
Well,
so
I
fuck
became
you.
a Bills fan because one of my other friends, and I found
Bills
out
are garbage.
the Bills
What?
sing and they chant and they do all these things, and I belong.
The
The
Bills,
Buffalo
are garbage. For
I know
Buffalo
they are.
Bills,
yeah.
I know they are. Buffalo. I know.
I don't know why you're looking at me like that.
I'm just.
It's a
I'm
very,
I'm,
very fun team. to be a- Listen,
I'm just kind of
the
surprised.
Cowboys is we won't talk too much about this, but the Cowboys, it's a rough fandom. The Bills, I found my fandom because they sing, they throw people on tables, they light things on fire, they're out of control. So to me, the camaraderie in the community.
By
I went to
that-
a Bills bar. I went to a Bills bar here because of my friend.
do what
I
again?
belonged because they sing.
They do what again?
They throw people on tables. They light things on fire.
Oh, wait,
it's
it's funny,
actually
'cause
a
isn't
table
that-
that's on fire that they.
There's another
fall
fandom
on.
I know that You might fit in really well with
No.
Actually,
so
there are two
interesting.
fandoms.
No, don't say it to me. Don't even bring it up.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Philadelphia.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You could be an Eagles fan.
No,
Yeah.
fuck you. Okay.
Or a Patriots fan, in which case,
No, I don't
go
care
fuck
about,
yourself.
I don't care about the Patriots.
I gotta be honest. There are several football teams that I can think of right now where people ride that hard, and I'm like, why Buffalo?
Because they ride the hardest. Listen, the thing with
Do
the thing with the Philadelphia Eagles is they win and then they light things on fire. Buffalo Bills, they're called the Bills Mafia, and they just get
They do light things on fire.
but it's all when they're tailgating, when they're drinking and they're having fun, and
God.
it's obviously very
like-
cold, and they jump on foldable tables.
I'm gonna
Okay,
take you to a Philly sports game.
I was about to
Doesn't have to
say-
be the Eagles, but every fucking Philly team,
Yeah.
they'll light shit on fire, win or lose.
Win-
Flyers
okay,
fans,
win or lose.
I think I got away from the real actual
It's the same-
purpose is that they sing.
It's the
so
same
they
thing-
sing every time they get an interception, or they sing every time.
Oh.
They rewrite the words to "You Make Me Wanna Shout," da-na-na, and they rewrite it to their own little anthem. That's really why I like it. But I
endearing.
like it because they're kind of wacko and whatever.
Yeah.
And anyway,
Well, Eagles
let's
game,
just cut all this
and
out.
then we'll take you to Boston. We'll go to.
I won't
Celtics
ever go to an
game
Eagles game.
where they also light their fucking city
I
down.
like the Celtics.
the Red Sox do too.
Yeah.
I was
It's just-
there
it's
when
all
they lit
Boston.
Kenmore
The
Square
irony-
on fire
It's
after
literally-
winning
it's
the World
literally-
Series.
It's literally all Boston.
Yeah.
I like all Boston
Fuck 'em.
sports. Except,
I'm a New Yorker. Look,
Yeah.
I got,
Sorry,
me and Boston
guys.
got a problem.
Don't leave me bad reviews. Can I say
Leave
this?
me a bad review, EP, if
I
it's
don't-
about that.
I'm watching Hard Knocks because I think it is fucking fascinating. I'm not watching because I'm rooting for any fucking team. Okay, let's just be clear here. I think it's a really good show. I've never seen it before, and I think it's so
well done.
good.
It's so
It's
well
so
done.
good. Betsy pointed out that, of course, Aaron knows that the cameras are on him, so he's going to be on his best behavior.
yeah.
But I think he's nice. I like the way that I am seeing him
Coach these young kids.
coach his understudies. All 10 of them. There's like 6.
The understudies.
Yeah, whatever they're called. What are they called?
This the second, third string.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that, but there's 6 of them. You have a
Backup
6
quarterback.
string.
Backups. Yeah.
Okay, sorry guys. Backup.
When I see the theater,
What else? That's my life. Okay, back it the fuck up. Back it the fuck up.
this shit giving is a two-way street. Well, it's a three-way street here.
It really fucking is. Is there anything else y'all want to rag on me and ride on me today?
I don't know. Give me a few minutes to think about it.
I haven't
Walk
ragged
to
on you
right.
at all. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, the look your existence when you come in here is right on me.
Oh, shut up.
I can feel it. I can always feel it. Like you're one like little chuckle away from laughing at me for doing something stupid.
I'm laughing with you.
No. That's emotional manipulation. You're laughing at me, not with me.
No, I'm
Let's
laughing
be
with you.
very clear here.
Very funny.
All right, guys.
Oh,
Wow. Thank you for joining us on this podcast
yes.
where we discuss nothing.
Please
then
like and subscribe.
And please like and subscribe. No, actually, I'm really excited. I'm actually kind of excited that we really didn't have a whole lot of like hot topics, so to speak. We just kind of got to chat for a little bit.
Yeah.
We rarely, if ever, do that. I don't know. We put out like 3 episodes a week, but we rarely get to chat. And so we're here. We're going to do SLC. I'm very curious how our listeners and the viewers are feeling about this episode.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll let you know. Shall we?
Let's do it.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to Reality Bites, the podcast where we'll deep dive into this week's buzziest reality TV and pop culture happenings.
I'm Betsy, and while I may be 9 to 5 by day, I'm a reality connoisseur by night.
And I'm JJ, a reality TV producer by trade, but my favorite pastime is dishing unfiltered dirt and behind-the-scenes scoop. We'll tackle the biggest and best water cooler moments of the week through an insider lens you won't find anywhere else.
Buckle up, buttercups.
Please don't tell me it's about Tom.
It's about Tom.
This is Reality Bites. Ding dong.
The
Gosh.
sound is moving.
The sound of terror, the sound of fear.
The sound of my dreams.
For whom the bell tolls. Okay, I mean, where do we start? You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
You know what? I'm not going to go first because I want to make sure that the two of you have your own opinions for yourself. But can I pose a question?
Well, yeah, what's the question? You're just asking us what we thought?
I was going to ask, like, what were your expectations going in?
Okay.
Because I think we need to touch a little bit, like, obviously last season. I know we don't want to go there, but I think just to kind of give us a little setup, how we felt when we ended last season. When was that? February? January? I feel like this is very...
February or something.
Yeah,
March,
this was
maybe?
a very...
February.
Why does it feel like this was a big, like a short turnaround?
Because it was. Because
They were behind schedule. That's what it was.
Behind schedule. I think they started filming in February as opposed to January like normal. So then or they pre-pro in February.
Well, yeah, because they were in the middle of filming a reunion, but whatever. So we all felt a certain type of way. And I think I can speak for the both of you. We were kind of a little reluctant. We really weren't following any of, the content creation stuff, all the big hoopla and discussions about SLC. I got to be honest, I really tried to avoid it because I just wanted to have like clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I know, I finally got it. And so I was trying to avoid. I really didn't want to know. I just wanted to go in with a fresh start because I felt very abandoned last season. I think, the baby out with the bathwater. That's how I felt. I was like, just hang me up to dry, why don't you? But I ultimately was willing to give it a shot because Jen Shah's in prison. And I'm like, yes, not that I want her to be in prison, but she was such a cancer and a parasite to that show.
Yes.
That I just was like, wait, we can't give up on it yet because Jen Shah takes up so much space that we're not really able to see the other characters flourish in the way that they should. And last season had a lot of problems behind the scenes. This is not a knock. This is not a criticism. They just actually had a lot of problems.
Challenges.
And there's just, challenges, adversities. And so ultimately all of these things, clumped together kind of gave us the season that we had. And well, I guess I'd like to know, what were your thoughts when we ended last season? And how did you feel before we went into the episode? And how did you feel even after? We don't have to get too deep, but I'm just curious.
Top line.
It's like the 3 stages of grief for SLC.
Well, like a horror movie, terrifying, and then also comedy.
And Whitney would totally be the girl that wears the shirt with no shoes and is like, I'm running away.
Yeah, I'm going upstairs and I'm trying to lock the door, but
Johnny Depp.
There's no knob. Yeah. Last season, well, it's really weird. Well, it's funny, I guess I should say that Lauren brings up how it had a very quick turnaround. I kind of like blacked out on the last season. Like, yes, I remember the black eye, and I remember like
what?
Well, I'm trying to I remember like the big storylines, right? Like I remember the black eye. I remember that there was talk about Jen Shah. I remember, the Whitney stuff and her like remembering like stuff that happened to her as a child. But like as a season as a whole, sometimes I don't even remember all the conflicts.
What's so wild is that I felt so much that it's surprising to me that you don't remember this. I remember your feelings on it. Like you're saying you blacked out a little bit.
Well, because the one storyline I remember the most is the black eye. And
which was
Heather
infuriating.
Stuff. Yeah,
the black eye made you black out.
Without going into a whole lot of details, Heather Gay and I are really on opposite sides of everything. But last season was bad, and so I just remember thinking it was terrible. So how was I going into this season? Super. I wouldn't even say low expectations. I wasn't even thinking about it, y'all. I didn't even know that it was premiering this week.
But same. I know I mentioned it last week in one of our episodes, but let's be clear. I found out that morning. I was like, oh, it's coming now.
Next week.
I knew it wasn't going to be in the next few weeks, but I just didn't realize it was premiering after Labor Day.
But pleasantly watched the episode. I thought there were some hilarious moments. I'm so glad to have Lisa Barlow back. I really am liking this new woman, Monica. Meredith did some things for me that I thought were kind of funny. I'm glad to see the snow. And yeah, I don't quite know where the season is gonna go. Like looking at the trailer, if it's gonna be a lot of fluff, like it kind of was last season, or if there's gonna be like some interesting things to
Sorry, are we remembering the same season? Last season was fluff?
Yeah, last season I thought was terrible. Like nothing really happened in a real way. What do you think happened in a real way?
Well, no, when I think of fluff, I think of, I feel like OC's a little bit more fluff. Maybe we're thinking of.
Well,
right?
I guess
Yeah.
let me just say smoke and mirrors. Like I feel like
Yes,
a lot
sorry,
of maybe
yeah.
that's a better way of saying like a smoke and mirrors, like a lot of screaming, a lot of fighting, but like really nothing's really actually happening and nothing is really revealed. That's what I felt a lot about
Nothing
last
went
season.
anywhere. Like even
Yeah.
the Whitney story, it's like
When,
what the
yeah,
fuck happened to that?
we got introduced to it and then it ended.
We need to check back in to see how
just like
she's
we got
doing.
introduced, just like we got introduced to Dorit's robbery and then it went nowhere. So it's just like
But don't say that.
no, I did say it and I'll say it again. And
I know, but
love Dorit.
We got a message being like, first you want to talk about, first you don't want her to talk about burglary, and now you do. I'm like, well, yeah.
You know what? Yeah, you're right.
I don't need her talking about it every waking moment in the first act of an episode.
Yeah.
But I do need, we need to check back
need
in.
We need to check in
Follow up.
5 episodes later. Like,
Yes, we do. We need to know how her EDMR is going. I need to
Yeah.
know. I need to know.
But yeah, just long-winded way. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
I know.
I
Yeah.
thought it was fun. I did miss I missed Lisa Barlow. And I do have a lot of high hopes for the newcomer.
Monica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. I okay. Leaving last season, it was painful to watch
I
last
can
season.
hear it in your voice.
It was horrible. And I have friends who've worked on that show and
God bless them.
God bless them. I know that this was an exceptionally hard season. There was a lot of shit going on that they had to navigate. But because of that, and really through more the fault of the cast, I think, than anyone, it was garbage. It was
really
painful to
bad.
watch. They had rushed it too quickly on. I frankly, leading, in between seasons, and I feel like we all had talked about this probably off mic when the previous season ended, like, they need to be going down for like 6 months to do a proper round of casting to like,
And let them breathe.
and let them breathe and let there be some time.
Betsy's not going to remember this though because she blacked out.
Yeah. Blacking out with the black eye. So last season was insufferable.
Glad
I frankly, in the time in between then and now, I've been like, I don't really give a shit to watch that show ever again. There's enough programming on television that I don't need it. Obviously, I was going to give it a shot. And
were you? Because it sounds like you're backpedaling right now.
No, I'm not.
You went into that really hard, like.
How many times have either of you have I said to both of you, like, I don't even fucking want to watch? Like, it was bad. It was not enjoyable.
Right.
There's
I
enough
said
shit
it and
going
I
on in
meant
the
it.
world that, like, I want there to be enjoyment in what I'm watching. That was not enjoyable. It can be messy, it can be crazy, it can be horrible, but like enjoyable at least as a viewer. That last season was not.
I don't even know what I would call last season. I'm telling you.
An atrocity.
Well, what we say this all the time, that there's never one cast member that is the show, right? Like the
Right.
success of a show does not hinder on one cast member.
I know where you're going with this.
But
Except
well, it's not even an except. I would say on the flip side on this one, Jen Shaw is not the reason why the show is surviving.
okay.
No.
But her in prison will ultimately mitigate the demise. She is parasitic.
Super toxic.
Look, because she's in prison now, I'll just go ahead and say it. Anecdotally, was by far the worst cast member that anybody had ever worked with. I think problematic is a word that everybody uses flagrantly, which is fine, but to say she's problematic, I think would feel like an understatement. I mean, I remember like the stories that I had heard after season 1. I actually was appalled, and I got to be honest, like a little grossed out that they allowed her to come back, because it wasn't just like how she was with Cass. Here's the thing. I am not a doctor. I don't know her. I've never worked with her. I've never been around her. There's something wrong, and I think that she needs to work on her mental health, because of the way that she would behave is not something that is, it's just not in you like that. There's trauma there.
Yeah.
And I think we need to start asking, like, is she okay? Like, what did she go through in life? Because no one's just born that way. And I think that she's just really problematic. Not nice, just not, how would you describe it? I mean,
I think that, look at that video that leaked of her and was it the stylist or the hairstylist? And her
God.
screaming at him that came out, I think, after season 1.
I will drown you, bitch.
Yeah.
And then
Like-
she throws water on the camera operators whose cameras
Right.
are
By
hundreds
the way,
of thousands of dollars.
that in and of itself, that's where I get like,
I can't stand that shit.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, here's my thing, and we've said this before,
Yeah.
but like cast members getting pissed at producers because we are the people who are having the most FaceTime with them. We are the ones who are, talking them through, and pushing them to talk about their feelings that
We're
they
wiping
may.
their tears in their ass. Okay.
Yeah, but we're the ones who, when they want to scapegoat, quote unquote, put them in these positions.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like they don't really want to go confront this person about this thing that they've been bitching to me about for a week. And I'm like, that time is up. You got to go tell them if you're telling me. And that's
Lauren's
kind of the
making
rule
me
of
do
rap.
it. And I'm just like,
Shut
why do you gotta
up.
be such a fucking loser?
Because it's much easier for them to not be accountable and throw producers under the bus for things that are their own decisions.
I know. I think it's just so funny because on what planet is anybody going to believe that? It's Lauren's fault. I'm like, no, you cheated, so it's your fault.
So all that's to say that I get when cast members are kind of acrimonious or blaming or whatever with producers.
Yes.
Here's where I draw a very, very, very hard and fast line. You do not fuck with the crew. You do not be rude to them. You do not, no. These are people who are schlepping around 40-pound cameras on their fucking shoulders that are $200,000. Audio people have 45 pounds strapped to their chest with these rigs and their back rigging it. Don't fuck with the crew. You want to be pissed at someone? Be pissed at me. Be pissed at a producer, but do not be disrespectful. And the fact that she fucking hurled that water at the camera, I was like, you are trash.
With no regard. You can tell she's done stuff
regard.
like that in different aspects of her life very easily without thought.
Yes.
Incredibly volatile, incredibly reactive.
Now, I echo everything that executive producer is saying, but I will say that, especially above the line, I would even say with my position on shows, I'm not considered above the line, but I'm like right in the middle of being like a supervising producer. I don't, because you were saying crew, you don't fuck with them, you don't disrespect. We also, and I'm going to speak for executive producer because I think, we'll be aligned on this.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with anybody below the line.
Correct, by the way. Thank you.
So,
Yes,
I've
producers
had
as well.
I've had like talent AP who, by the way, talent producer, talent AP, talent associate producer, talent manager, they all, for the most part, do the same thing. It differs from show to show. But they are interfacing with cast all day, every day. Scheduling, can you be here? You need to wear this. They're taking care of all of those things that are, I think a lot of people at home have no earthly idea that are important, but they are. And I won't allow it because I will see cast members who, they'll yell at me. I don't give a fuck. Yell at me all you fucking want. Okay?
Yeah.
But they'll be chippy and they'll be nasty to my talent APs, my talent managers, my talent producers, who the reality is don't make as much money as I do. And they're still very they're on the come up. And they're trying to do the best that they can. And they're in the part of their career where they're gonna stay quiet. They just want to do anything to keep going. So then I'll step in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not gonna talk to them like that. You got it? I'll even have fucking younger producers and crew will be like, don't say anything to them. And I'm like, don't worry about it. It'll never come back to you.
Yeah.
Because it's just unacceptable. So Jen Shaw, not to get off too much in a tangent, I just don't think that she treated her crew, her producers. I don't think she treated the show well.
Or anyone in her life. For
Anyone
that
in her
matter.
life,
I think
right.
it's extended across the
Well,
board.
that's a given. And we're about to get into that because Monica reveals that fucking Jen never said a nice thing about fucking anyone. I'm like, yeah.
Including you, Heather.
No.
Yeah, are we surprised by that?
No.
She called her Shrek.
Yeah, I know.
And then Mary's about to call her inbred. What the fuck? Anyway, so for me, it just feels like the bully who finally got kicked out of school.
Yeah.
The bully who finally had to go get homeschooled or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It just feels like they're gone. And
We
who's
need
to
it.
say what this season's going to be? I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a nice State of the Union.
It really was.
The pacing was perfect. It was just a nice episode, a beautiful introduction to Monica. Everything felt very organic, even though Monica doesn't know anybody outside of being Jen Shaw's assistant. Now, she is familiar with some of these ladies now, but let's be clear, she's new. She doesn't really know these ladies at all.
No,
Yeah.
she doesn't.
But I can't wait to hear what this bitch has to say.
Ooh.
I am stoked. Oh, this is what I was going to say before we really get into it. Monica, the new cast member. So they had a cast member last year that at that point I was told was an informant. Obviously that has changed. It is a witness. Because an informant, you're undercover, I believe, right?
Right, you're like still in it or whatever it is.
Yeah,
that you're
like
involved
you're
in and
wearing
you're
a
passing
wire.
information.
Exactly. Witness is when you're finally the trial, I think.
Yeah.
I think maybe she was an informant that became a witness.
Exactly. So when I found out about this, it made everything make so much more sense why the season struggled, because there was a friend type of cast member that unfortunately had to be essentially cut out of the show because they ultimately ended up as a witness for the FBI.
Filming, right?
So they had to stop filming with her.
And they lost that other chick early on in the filming as well for
Jenny.
Jenny.
God, last season was rough.
Jenny.
Yeah. Jenny. Remember?
See? I don't remember her. I mean, I do now, but like that's someone that I definitely
I only remember
blacked out.
Jenny because of Lisa Barlow.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I had to think about it.
Monica
But she's here.
Monica's here, guys. Monica was the informant, then later turned witness, then later turned Real Housewife. She was on last season. We didn't get her. So her time she's ready.
She's ready.
And the thing is that she's trained already a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like if I remember correctly, I feel like she had filmed a little bit, like a couple of weeks or something before.
It was only a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I thought it was like a month.
No, that was Jenny.
Oh.
Jenny got fired mid-season, and I think that they were testing around with this
See, I
chick.
thought Jenny got fired the second week of filming.
Oh, am I flipping these? I don't know.
I don't know, but regardless.
She has been in front of a camera before. She had at least, look, whether she'd spent a month in front of the camera, a day in front of the camera, no time in front of the camera.
I can't tell.
She is a natural.
Yeah, I can't
she's
tell.
Very, very natural.
I can't tell.
In the
chair.
confessionals,
Yes.
great.
In the
Oh,
chair,
God.
she's
She's come
great.
into life.
Her second confessional that I saw, I was like, oh, I think I clapped. I was like, yes, thank you. Except for, and I'm sorry to say this, Monica, you were beautiful and hot. The red. We got to let it
Ooh,
go.
yeah,
We got to let it
red.
go. And if you're listening, certainly you're not, I always advise my cast members to sit down in whatever they want to wear first to make sure it lays, to make sure it makes sense in the framing. Because so many times I see their wardrobe is beautiful on a hanger, beautiful standing up. It just looks funky sometimes because you're cut off at the bottom. But other than that, that is my only criticism of Monica thus far. Just the red outfit.
She has been great. I'm so excited to watch her.
Very, very excited.
And she's like participating. She's not taking herself too seriously, but she's giving us information. Like this.
She's comfortable.
She's comfortable, which is
She's
really
comfortable in her skin.
Yes.
Like she's just comfortable.
Yes, she's self-assured, which is great.
Yeah. Why do you not think that?
No, I do, but I'm just I like her, and I'm very excited on what might be revealed because we get a little teaser, when she's meeting with Lisa and Angie that, she knows a lot about these women because
I
Jen
know.
has told her everything.
To which I said,
Which I think, I'm sure Jen did. But then in the same episode, we get a little bit later that Monica's like, Jen never said a nice thing about Heather, but everything that came out of Jen's mouth was complete bullshit. So I'll make my own interpretation of what I think of these women. So I just am waiting to see kind of what information, if any, but I imagine what information is being shared. And coming from Jen, I'm going to take everything with a little grain of salt is what I'm trying to say. But I do really like her. I just, depending on what she's going to reveal, I'm going to have to make my own, assumption on if I think that there's if I think it's factual evidence, or if I think it's just Jen Shaw being a bitch and saying things that she believes or whatever.
yeah, I think that based on some of the behaviors we watched, and again, guys, I'm going to preface this. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I've been working with people like Jen Shaw for a really long time, so you just kind of get used to seeing it, and you just know what it is. She to me, teeters on malignant narcissism.
I could see that.
And they lie. So I
Yeah.
just think that anything, and I'm happy that Monica said that because she's not an idiot. That's what I'll appreciate. From what I'm seeing right now, which is one episode, which is not much.
Sure.
What I'm seeing is she knows a lot. She'll share it if she wants. She has it in her pocket. But she also doesn't really believe anything that Jen Shaw says.
100%.
Because she's very hyperbolic. She's all over the place. She's in prison.
Yeah.
Up the street, so it's very exciting. And it's just, there's something about, look, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. You guys know that I don't like to do that. As much as I loved this episode, and it was really fun, I'm cautiously optimistic. And I'll say the same for Monica. I think that she has the potential to deliver. I think that she will, but who's to say, right? there's something about her leaving, Jen leaving, and Monica coming in that just feels, I don't know how to say it. Almost like
Like
it
a
almost,
nice handoff?
like a
breath of fresh
Machiavellian.
air.
Yes, but I was going to say Machiavellian, like she got Jen off the show. Now she's in.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying that's how it happened, but there's an energy
there
to me
is.
feeling like got her off. That's why the part of me thinks that she feels very confident
Yeah.
because she was on the side working for Jen Shaw, but let's be clear, she's on the side of the other women.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
there's this, you can already tell that there's an alliance, right?
Mm-hmm.
We always start SLC with there always being a Jen Shaw or a Meredith alliance, whatever the fuck it is. The only alliance there should be is Lisa Barlow.
Yeah.
So I just want to point that out. But there's always kind of a little bit of an alliance. And even when we have new housewives start franchises that there's already OGs there, it can be hard for them to find their footing. One, the jealousy, the this, the that, and honestly, the hazing. These cast members like to haze their cast members. It's so fucking weird. But this just felt like a very, very clean hand toss.
Transition. Yeah.
Very clean. No one questioned it. No one's like, what do you know? I mean, they're kind of in and out of it. It just felt like the cast members were able to breathe in between seasons, even though I know that's not how it happened. But I think they're breathing again because Jen Shaw is gone.
Yeah.
Whether they
Yeah.
realized it or not, Heather, that woman was toxic as fuck to everyone.
Yeah. Look, one person can't make a show, but
Whatever.
one person can spoil a season of a show.
Correct.
That's the truth. Like, the show is bigger than any one cast member, but one sour apple in the bunch will bring the rest of them down.
Yes.
And it will affect it overall.
Lisa Rinna.
Like Lisa Rinna. And I feel the same way about Beverly Hills.
And y'all know I
it
love
was
her, but
insufferable
it was
except for the
bad. I
reunions.
was like, Lisa, I need you to pipe down,
She
Chachi.
took over every scene.
Yeah.
Same way that
Everything.
And I am
Jen did,
excited
so.
to see Erica without Lisa. I'm excited to
Exactly.
do
That's
all
what
of
got me
that.
thinking about it because I was like, I'm excited and really looking forward to seeing Beverly Hills without Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't once give it a thought like, oh, it's going to be like this for Salt Lake City. So
Yeah.
I'm
Because
excited.
because we got some reprieve in Beverly Hills with the reunions, which were spectacular after a very rough season.
Those were really
And
good.
by the way, season to season, Beverly Hills was far better than SLC last
Oh,
year.
yeah.
Oh yeah, did I say the other?
No,
like,
no,
say
no. I'm
otherwise?
just saying they were both bad seasons, but let's not make a mistake. I mean, SLC was way worse.
SLC
and,
was just a disaster.
and the reunions were garbage. So sorry guys, it just was. But I've such high hopes for the season now because I had so low expectations, and I'm like, oh, there's like some life. There's like some movement.
yeah.
You mentioned, Lauren, the pacing. Like that felt really.
It did. The episode
Good.
felt paced very, very well.
I wonder. Well, this season, their showrunner is the person who has been overseeing post, and this season, this person oversees post and field.
What?
So for the first time,
Oh,
it's the
my-
same. So now the
Okay.
pacing stuff makes sense because as a post brain, if you're also running the field, you're kind of doing it simultaneously. So you're thinking about it that way.
But it makes sense why. I don't know how to describe this. I'm sorry, listeners. It makes sense why every frame, every shot, every arrival, there was no because I'll let executive producer talk about me in this way. I catch everything.
Yeah, you do.
And I don't. I didn't catch a fucking thing. Actually,
Oh,
I
you
did
mean
catch
like
one.
mistakes? You
Mistake,
catch
like
mistakes,
technical.
Yes.
Like
You'll catch it all the time.
I catch it all the time. And by the way, when I say mistakes, they're not intentional. Sometimes shit happens. Cameras cross each other. You get in the way. There's a big thing going on. You
Yeah.
see camera operators.
Sometimes it's just a little too daylight, and you need to fucking tone those lights down a little bit.
Thank you for saying that because that was next on my list. There were a couple
Oh, the lighting.
So my only critique was that there were a couple of scenes where we were a little overlit. And sure, it could be my TV setting, but I'm confident that it's not. But other
And
than that,
It's also hard when you're in a snow environment because
Correct.
even if you're not outside in the snow, it reflects so much light
It's
everywhere around
bright.
you that you have to figure out how to
burns.
adjust, and it burns.
it burns. So when we say it burns, what we're saying is, and you guys will see this too, like with your iPhone or anything like that, when you face a window, all of a sudden it's blown out. Well, happens the same thing with cameras when we're filming with people. So
Yeah.
if we sit in front of a mirror, my God, if we sit in front of a window, we have to ND the windows so that they still look like windows, but there's just a sheen on it that doesn't allow all the light to come in. And guys, lighting, all that stuff is really hard. So the technical, which I rarely ever talk about. I don't know. I feel like I'm always a little embarrassed to talk about technical stuff, but The technical stuff is beautiful.
Why?
Because I know so many of my friends who work on these shows that sometimes some of the technical stuff is just shit fucking happens and I'm there. So to rag on every little thing that's technical, that's wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, it just mistakes happen. Sometimes I can tell it's not a mistake. It is just poor management, poor producing, not understanding how to get a big, like, all cast arrival, you know, getting ready to go to a trip, and you don't get an establishing shot of where the car is, where is it parked in front of. You have no geography of space, like those types of mistakes. Those are mistakes because certain producers just not trained. Maybe they're inexperienced, anxiety ridden, and so what happens is post has to spend a really long time trying to make it make sense so that the viewer at home is like, what the fuck is this? I'm watching a kaleidoscope. Wait, and you know, lines are crossing, and the car looks like it's going into each other and inverted. And so
they don't say fix it in post for no reason.
Exactly, guys. That literally
all of
fix
our
it in
post friends hate that saying.
I gripe at people when they say that. I'm like, no, you're gonna fix it now.
I think this is the best edited show I've ever seen.
SLC?
Well, this episode.
It's good.
The comedy, the music they use,
all of it,
everything. And to me, yes, you get comedy with what's on screen and what the women are doing, but really, it's also the music,
going to slow mo,
watching Monica talk about how Lisa used to call Jen all the time, and she would talk, and Jen would hand the phone to Monica, and Monica would put the phone down, and we intercut that with Lisa talking at the table, blah, 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 blah. Like, that
Very
shit is
well
funny
said.
to me.
I know,
and they did a good fucking job.
They
with
did.
that.
And I didn't realize that the post EP actually just ran the whole show.
Yeah.
And it shows.
It looks very clean. It really does.
And it
It's very
shows.
clean cut.
And I just got chills because that is my wheelhouse, not necessarily post, but how would you describe me? I'm just very, not like rigid or meticulous, but
you're very detail oriented and you have high standards.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that everything that is within control.
Correct.
Because some things are not, but
They're
everything
not.
that is within control should be the way that it should be, which I agree with 100%, which is why you're so valuable on shows.
Thanks, executive producer.
You're very welcome.
Makes me sad I'm not 25, you know?
I know. Yeah.
Well, if you were 25, you'd still be in my dating age range. So,
yeah.
you know.
That's what I was. That's exactly where my mind went. Is that not where your mind went? Okay.
Anyway, not to stay on that too long, but the editing, the pacing, the storytelling, the handoffs, having Monica join Lisa and Meredith was it Meredith?
It was Angie and
Angie
Lisa.
K. Literally have my notes in front of me, very big on my computer, and that I went, yes, guys, doesn't it make sense that Monica's here?
Yep.
And who's she with? She's with Lisa and she's with Angie K, the two who went against Jen Shaw last season.
Yep. She's got built-in allies.
It's nuanced. We don't need to know that that's why they're there. We know we're at home and we're seeing it. And we're like, makes sense. That's storytelling. That's the type of stuff that I feel like we're missing on Roni.
Yes.
And I think that it'll help me kind of juxtapose like what I feel like we're missing on Roni are things like that. Little nothing coffee scenes where, yeah, we know that Monica doesn't know everybody, but we don't need to say that on camera. We don't need to say that she's met her here. That just show up.
Yeah,
this is my friend. Just let it go. Show up, my friend Monica. Hey, what's up? Whatever.
Yeah.
It was just a perfect. I don't know. Now I'm feeling like, am I on glue? I'm like, this was just a really good episode.
It was a
just
really good episode.
Perfect. And now that I know that the post EP is running it, that makes total sense. Why it's perfect.
Yeah. And, you said something before that triggered the thought when you said like the handoffs and everything. Here's one thing I will say, despite how I felt about any individual season of Salt Lake City standing in its totality, what SLC has always done a very good job of are these first episode cold opens.
Oh, they are iconic.
They're great.
We were
They're
talking
iconic.
about that yesterday.
Exactly. Yeah. And this one did not disappoint. And not only that, first of all, just the whole reveal of it overall, and then the sound ups with the scripture and showing what
the Proverbs,
the Proverbs
and the Psalms,
and Proverbs. Guys, Jew here. If it's not in the
slow-mo.
Torah,
it is in the Torah. The
still
First
won't know
Testament is the Torah.
Okay, so then I won't know it either way. But anyway,
I don't know anything.
the handoffs, the Psalms, and the
Perfect
scriptures. Is that what it was?
Psalms and Proverbs.
Proverbs. The Psalms and the Proverbs. Bravo, bravo, fucking bravo.
Yeah.
I thought the seamless handoffs were great. That's something that Lauren, you and I have done as a cold open of a show that we did some years ago. It's been done by other shows as well. Not knocking them for doing it.
But after us, okay, guys? No, I'm
beautifully
kidding. I actually don't know that. But I do think, here's what I'll say. I think we were the first to do it on
Bravo.
Bravo.
We were.
Yeah.
$1 Million Listing season 12.
Guys, go watch that cold open.
It's a really sexy cold open.
So fun. Actually, maybe I'll just upload it. I'll
Yeah,
upload
let's do
it
it.
onto Reality Bites. We had so much fun filming that.
It was like my little scripted project.
Oh, yeah. It was really fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, that was.
But Salt Lake City in their franchise, the iconography, because it's surrounded with the Mormonism and you know, all the music and the furs, it's just kind of, we've talked about it. It's very satirical. Like I think out of all the franchises, to me, it has the most satire.
Yeah, the most comedy.
Agreed.
I mean,
And
delusion.
It was like
Absolutely
drama. It was
delusion.
like, you know, it was the sound, like the sound editing was brilliant with the, you know, that kind of deep gospel sort of undertones and these psalms and the drama and the sound ups and the handoffs. It was just fucking well done. Like going into it, I was like, oh,
It looks like
okay.
Mob Wives of SLC.
Yeah, kind of. And
But
the other
kind of-
cold opens have been great too, with Jen Shaw getting arrested, and I forget what the second season one was. Oh, that was second season.
Yeah.
Third season,
I don't remember what it was.
Well,
they did another one, but we blacked it out. But they did do
Well,
one.
I'm not the only one.
No. I didn't black it out. I just don't remember that part.
But
Exactly.
I'm
Guys,
here for it.
Betsy was traumatized last season, but the body doesn't forget, so she's probably going to experience this later.
Well, the only thing I actually really do remember is Lisa Barlow singing, and that was the greatest moment of my life. So.
Well, I just really appreciate that they made the creative choice to open this show with Lisa
Lisa
Barlow.
Barlow.
Yes.
The queen, baby.
Guys, she's getting
Queen.
set up for Sundance. And I just want to point out, that's a work scene. Whatever you saw Lisa Barlow doing, that's what I would consider a process. That's a work scene. That's another thing that I feel like we're missing
Yes.
from Roni. We get it a little bit with Jenna, but we're missing like real work scenes.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing on Roni feels, I hate saying this, but it feels more like what I would consider a round robin that was ultimately repurposed into a scene,
Yeah.
which can happen.
100%. It becomes a bite story oftentimes. Where it's
Yeah.
like
Well, executive producer, since we have you here and take a load off, would you mind explaining to the audience what a round robin is for our new listeners?
Absolutely. It's
Wait. Actually, Betsy, you explain what a round robin is. We're testing you. Sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead. What's a round robin? You got
It's a little slice of life that can live anywhere within the season. So something, maybe they could be doing chores around the house, vacuuming, picking flowers, throwing them out. Stop it. Stop doing that to me. You didn't see what she was doing to me. There was no touching. Don't worry. Nothing like
I
that.
was doing that thing that Carol Radswell did. She said, y'all gonna make up in season 7. She goes, remember? She sticks her tongue out.
But basically, yeah, just like little slices of life that you can place anywhere within the scene to make them seem like, oh, they're just like us. They're normal. But then we watch the episode and we know that they're not.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. Good job.
I'm recruiting Betsy to work in television as soon as it gets back up in 10 years.
Yes.
No,
The
but
problem
that's
is
the
they heard I was
plan.
coming and things shut down.
Exactly.
we are.
But
Here
we're
we
here
are.
together, and Betsy's going to be a producer. You really are. I'm
One
very
way
excited about
or
this.
another, baby.
One way or another. But yeah, so
So you know people, and that's part of the gig.
you're connected? Are you a Nepo baby?
No, but connected to counselors, which they need. So
They do. They do need counselors.
yes, I'll be there.
She's getting ready for Sundance.
Yep.
That's a work scene. We're actually seeing her work, not pointing things out and going through an event setup that they didn't do. It was nice to see Lisa Barlow getting in there and fucking working.
Yeah.
Yes. Moving things,
Get up
actually
and
doing
work.
something.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kim
Yep.
fucking Kardashian.
It's like nobody wants to work. Correct.
Well, yeah, no one wants to work. I don't want to fucking work.
No one wants to.
I'm
win.
tr-
you need to
I'm
keep playing the
trying-
lottery.
Exactly. Well, I do.
I'm trying to hold on to this podcast for dear life, and I'm hoping the two of you are doing it with me because we are going to eventually we'll have ads. I'm sorry, guys.
Eventually.
Yeah, but we're gonna curate that shit. That's not gonna be some like AARP stuff. Don't worry. But anyway.
No offense to AARP members.
Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm an ageist. Anyway, so we see John picks up Lisa, of course, per usual. Not surprised by
Her
that.
chauffeur.
He's always her chauffeur.
I know.
What I missed, and I was curious, did he bring food for her?
I actually don't think so.
That's
No.
bullshit.
Unless they cut it out. No.
They're probably going to get food.
I wish we had seen it. It'd be so iconic. Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
It's
Yeah.
a Taco Bell.
Well,
Her Diet
yeah,
Coke.
and then we can flash to the scene where she gets Jack Taco Bell, who she ends up we dovetail into talking about Jack wanting to go to Mission. Okay, why is Betsy laughing?
Just the way you said that.
Why?
Jack wants to go to Mission.
He wants to go to Mission. Well, he does. And then we had that scene from a couple of, she took him through Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Jack was being cool and like trying to be like tough.
Remember when Jack was like, fudge college?
Yeah.
Remember when they were playing basketball?
Yeah. Remember when he so happened to be in a viral video talking about how much kids have in their bank account? And he said, I have $150,000.
right.
I was like,
No.
excuse me?
Yeah.
From that Wolf skincare?
Jesus.
Is it Wolfie?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Oh.
But
Wolf Skincare, do you want to sponsor us?
Lisa, we're going to DM you about Vita Tequila.
yeah, you're our
I'm just saying, I'm
one.
Latina, so I'll be able to tell you.
That's right.
All right?
We love you.
The ultimate judge.
Yes, the ultimate judge. So, what? Were you going to say something?
Well,
Go ahead.
This car ride with
I love
with
it.
Lisa and John, it is one of the highlights of the episode for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because she comes in fine, they're just having their little moment, they're talking about the kids, and it goes through so many turns. Like, it's a roller coaster, this scene, and all they're doing is just riding in a car, talking about Jack going on a mission for 2 years, and that dovetails into the interview chair where Lisa's like, have I failed as a mother? Was I not there enough?
God.
Was I it's just ridiculous. Not ridiculous. I understand, like, being freaked out that your kid's going to leave for 2 years and you're not going to see them, as opposed to, like,
It was
come
like
back for
histrionics. Like,
holidays,
oh my God.
But it was histrionics.
Yes.
Right? So, am I a bad mom? Did I disconnected? How did I miss this? All these things, right? And, John is like, I mean, where were you at 17?
I know.
And her response, as our resident New Yorker, really just tickled my fancy.
Me too.
That's right.
My original bar in Fide
Never
in
miss an
1620.
opportunity to remind me that you are the OG New Yorker. Which is true. My family was not there yet. They were somewhere in the Eastern Bloc. Anywho, but when he asked her where she was at 17, she's like, I was in college in New York at Limelight. Limelight being the iconic club of debauchery that is in an old church on the corner of 20th and 6th Avenue.
Can't stop, won't stop talking about Limelight. If there's ever an opportunity for me to talk about Limelight, I will. You would have thought that I spent my adolescence at Limelight.
I did spend my adolescence at Limelight.
Oh, you did?
When it reopened, it closed in the 90s and then it reopened in the 2000s.
Exactly.
I went there and then it turned into a market.
That's fine. You went to Woodstock 97 or whatever the fuck. I'm talking about, like, I dream about going to Woodstock during the Party Monster days, like Club Kids. That's like, I love,
Limelight,
yeah, when Lisa Barlow is at Limelight.
Limelight Tunnel.
I wonder if Lisa Barlow is friends with Jenna Edelstein, who was a club kid. They're probably around the same age.
They might be. We never know.
Guys, Jenna Edelstein is Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce.
Yes.
Anyway.
Lisa Edelstein.
Lisa Edelstein, excuse me.
But so, they're going back and forth. And then the second that Lisa turns to John and says, well, how are you feeling about things? He doesn't get more than 2.5 words out before her phone rings. And she's like, hold on, excuse me. Hello? And I'm just like, God damn it, Lisa. You just cracked me the fuck up.
Yeah.
I
She's exactly
love it.
who she is.
I think people are questioning her, the veracity of her, like, origin story living in New York.
What do you mean?
Like, people are wondering, like, really, did she go to Limelight? I fucking
I believe it. I believe it.
How old is she? 45?
Like 48.
48? So
she absolutely went to fucking Limelight.
1000% she went to Limelight in the 90s. It would have been the early 90s. That is exactly when Limelight
When
and
she's
Tunnel
17.
were- yeah.
That makes total sense.
They were sister clubs. Tunnel and Limelight, they were owned by the same guy. And she was absolutely going then. That was like prime Party Monster days.
Correct.
Yeah, get out of here.
I mean, we're talking about like 1994. Like, she could easily have been there at 13.
No
Jesus
question.
Christ. At 17.
Well, maybe.
Hey, those days you never know.
Well, it's like your mom at Studio 54.
Yeah, she was not underage, but she was at Studio 54.
What's with the underage stuff?
Well, we're talking about 14.
I accidentally said 13, and I meant to say 17, okay? Guys,
Well, that is different.
we'll put
I am 15.
we'll put a parental
going
advisory
on
warning.
17.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
But of course, she cut that man off at the knees.
Oh, yeah, she was like...
And he
"Oh,
knew. He
And
knew. He kept driving. He's like, I don't.
in his mind, he's like, yep, that sounds
It doesn't
about
really
right.
matter what he thinks.
John is just
No.
there for the literal and figurative ride.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah.
And that's how it works for him.
She's really upset, but something feels like she's more upset than I'm feeling like she, not that I'm wanting to police how upset she is, Is there something else going on with that?
Well, I feel like the most upset that she is an interview, which we know was filmed later. Who knows how much later? So I wonder if it's that it's getting closer to
Probably
him
6 weeks
leaving.
in.
It could be that, but it could be later rounds of addressing notes. That interview could have been anywhere up to like 5 months after.
True, and because he's literally graduating in like 4 months. Like we're probably going to get the graduation on camera or something.
I'm assuming, yeah. So that could be a part of it too. That the interview is where she's the most emotional, and it could be that something, it's getting closer to him leaving, or
Well, and a lot of her emotion that she says is coming from the fact that he didn't tell her. And she was like, how could I not have been part of this process with you? And that's when she's like, did I fail as a mother? Did he not trust me? Did I do the wrong thing? Because this was a big, big decision to go away for 2 years for a mission. And he didn't even talk to her about it. He made the decision on his own, which he had to do a year prior. And then he just told them, this is what I want to do. So I think she felt like she wanted to maybe be in on the process. Yeah. Like why, what did I do to make you feel like you couldn't come to me and talk to me about this? Like, I don't know. And I think obviously a big part of that is that he's leaving. And if it's 2 years, I mean, that's substantial.
And I do think that they're just a very close family. So for her to feel like, God, I really just didn't know this. I mean, I didn't think about it like that. But I think that's probably what's really kind of roughing her up. Because the truth is he had to lie to her.
Yeah.
She's asking him about his essays for getting into colleges.
Oh, right. So about that, Mom.
We're literally at the tail end. We're in the 11th hour. Poor Jack. Then he starts crying.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not a Mormon, so I can't speak on the Mormon missionary, but I understand mission trips and things like that. And depending on your denomination, your religious background, et cetera, these are across the board. And they can be fun. You're spreading the word of God while also traveling essentially all over the world, depending on what the mission trip is. Now, I don't know, and I nor do I want to doubt what his intentions are. I'm sure he's very involved with wanting to spread the word of God. I also think there's something fun about traveling the world for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be good for him.
Yeah.
I don't align myself necessarily with religious teachings in that way. And I don't necessarily totally support and subscribe missionaries because,
throughout history, they're,
Yeah, it's just like a lot of imperialism and things like that. So, but I understand and I support what other religions want to do to carry on their name. And I also just think, why not take time off? You don't know what the fuck you want to do when you get into college.
Yeah.
2 years, I think, is perfect. You just,
It's great.
Oh, and especially if you're traveling, you really find out a lot about yourself.
Yeah, you would find out a hell of a lot more than if you're just, going to frat parties.
We do know that it comes up later in the season, because remember in the trailer, I guess, I can't remember if it's Whitney, and it wasn't this trailer, it was the original trailer that dropped before this season happened. I don't remember who brings it up, but Lisa's like, we are not talking about Jack's mission. So you can tell that whatever comes out, they're like, we don't know if we believe in this mission. That's the vibe I'm getting.
That sounds like it's going to be a fucking Heather.
Heather comes from, or it comes from Whitney. It comes from somebody
like a
that.
crooked mission?
I don't know. All I know is that
you have to pay to go on them.
Lisa's like, we're not talking about Jack's mission, and she gets
it's
like
probably
very
Heather,
elevated.
who's obviously very vocal against the church. So I would guess that it's Heather.
Yeah. Everyone has their own beliefs, and I never want to offend anybody, but it's you're pushing a belief on
to others.
Yes. That sometimes are experiencing disparity.
Right. Look, I know nothing's about Mormons or missions, but what I do know about are Jewish mothers. And you can take Lisa out of the temple, but you can't take the temple out of Lisa.
Yeah.
Those New York Jewish mother roots, connectivity, wanting I'm not going to be with you, the guilt, that's what
I felt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you telling me you didn't read Heather's book? Bad Mormon?
Spoiler alert. I didn't.
No. Yeah. So you're like the cast.
Exactly.
I'm like everyone else. The book? Nobody.
I want to know if there's a little cross next to her New York Times bestseller.
No, hers is a real bestseller.
Fine.
I was going to ask y'all about that because it seemed like nobody read it.
Well, enough people read it.
So
New York Times bestseller list.
Can we really believe that it was a bestseller? Or are there ways to like wheel and deal?
Her demo is so different. Yes, she's a reality star, but think of it like Selena, who crossed over into Spanish and English music. yes, she got the book because she's on the show and that her story is fascinating.
Right.
But the people who are reading it, I don't think are the people who are watching the show.
Okay.
That's my personal
I
opinion.
think they make up a section, but
Sure.
there's a much larger section of like ex-Mormons, or
Yes.
people who maybe are in and around Mormon communities, whether they're involved in it or not, that have
or current
fascination.
Mormons reading it under their sheet with a flashlight.
Yeah.
Scared.
Okay. All right. Okay.
We still don't find out what happened in the black eye in the book. And how fucking dare she
God damn
last
it.
season go, I'm you never know, it might be in the book. We were like, please, okay.
Forget
And then
it.
her calling it.
I see a small dick
Sorry.
when I know one.
Forget
Or
it.
That's
I
right.
know a small dick when I see one.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Fuck off. I was like, what the fuck? Wait, what did you...
I was interjected, so I apologize. But I was heated because the way that she brings it up in the interview, the inexplainable black eye,
Oh,
the
fuck
unexplainable
off.
black eye. Fuck off and fuck
I
you,
can't.
Heather.
I
it.
honestly, when I heard her say that, first of all, I thought about you first, Betsy.
I lost it.
I was like, are you out of your fucking mind? But here's the thing. Things live in post. They put it in there for a reason, okay?
Yeah.
Because it's bullshit.
yeah.
And I'm sorry. I'm not saying that there needs to be like a public lashing, but she needs to be reprimanded. Let her sound like a fool.
Like a fool. It was not explained. It's not unexplainable.
You didn't
Like,
explain
fuck
it.
You
Yeah,
didn't explain
You
it.
didn't explain. You actually said many different things, and we all ultimately realized what it was. It was Jen Shaw, and the two of you were romping around or doing whatever. Yeah, they were. They were trading each other's wigs and la 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 and doing whatever the fuck. Love Mary Cosby, who did the most beautiful, nuanced job of implying that something was. They're very connected.
Yeah.
Y'all are very connected. I mean, did you get that? Did you get the homoerotic undertones? Right? I mean, am I insane? Did I not feel- did you feel that?
No, I didn't pick up on that.
Oh.
What I picked up on is that Heather, now knowing that her friend is in prison and pleaded guilty, Heather's trying to retract and say, well, we weren't as close. I was just projecting. I couldn't be honest with Jim because Jim was going through a lot. I couldn't tell Jim how I really felt. And
Sure.
Mary was like, call bullshit. Y'all have always been connected. You've always been her ride or die. You've always been.
Exactly.
And now Heather's like, well, I feel really relieved. Well, Heather, what about that interview on Watch What Happens Live when this was all happening? And Andy said, well, what do you feel? And you said, oh, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant whether she's guilty or not because she's my friend. Well, is it irrelevant now that she's in prison? Is it still irrelevant?
All I know is
Get
that
the fuck off the screen.
all I know is that I have
Over you.
been closer in visiting Jen Shaw than any of her friends. I have literally been a couple of feet outside that gate.
God.
in.
And the producer
Right.
asking Meredith, well, have you contacted her? What do you mean to say? She's in prison. Well, you can contact people in prison.
Fuck does that mean?
Meredith, just say no.
Just
Well,
say
what do you
no.
mean? What do you want me to say? Well, would you just tell us that you haven't contacted her?
But you know what? If these women were as sly as they think that they are, she would have feigned it, called Jen so she could say that she did. But Meredith is not that good. She's all barking and bite.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the comedy.
It is. It is part of the comedy because I'm watching her and I'm going, what? Like she, what? How does she instill fear in people? I watch it and I laugh. I'm like,
don't
why are people
know.
scared
She's
of
ridiculous.
Why are people scared of Meredith Marks?
I don't know. She's all
I
bark,
don't
no bite.
know.
Like, where
Especially
are they
when
getting?
she tries to be threatening.
It's
I'm
kinda
like,
like-
shut up and take a seat.
I don't want you to be upset
I
about this,
know.
but it's kind of like I feel like Heather Dubrow thinks she's scary in some scenes, and it's like, no, you're not.
Oh, by the way, like
Oh,
the
yeah,
scene with
Heather.
Shannon last season, like that is not a threat. It is a promise.
is a promise.
It's fucking hysterical.
Guys, we were
Shut
all
up
laughing.
and sit down, Heather.
We were all laughing because it's just fucking stupid.
yeah,
Yeah, really, really
but-
fucking dumb.
And Meredith is just doing the most. And I'm kind of here for it because she's eating crow.
Yeah, she's trying to.
She's trying to eat crow in the most innocuous, don't look at me, I don't want you to see me eating crow, but I'm eating crow type of way. Except for with Whitney.
That was just something
nail
else.
has been in that coffin for a long time. Instead, it's the opposite. She like baits her with like, hey, how's it going? You said my husband's creepy in a bathtub. How dare you denigrate my bathtub? How dare you? My bathtub? It's porcelain.
My housekeeper cleans that bathtub with a toothbrush every
Every
day.
Did anybody else
day.
notice that she gave more of a fuck about the bathtub than she did about Seth?
Well, but this to
that
me,
tracks.
at the beginning of the episode, you were like, what? I said, Meredith is doing some things for me. And it's the bathtub stuff.
I think she's leaning into it.
Because I think to me, if I can tell that you're in on it, I'm here for it.
Yes.
And Meredith is in on the joke.
Correct.
Meredith
Yeah, she
thinks that
is.
it's kind of cheeky to be like, my bathtub. Listen, first of all, everyone thinks it's creepy. Nobody, we want to retire all bath scenes with Seth and with you.
Or
I mean,
bath scenes. Name one bath scene on Bravo that has not been creepy.
oh yeah, I don't know. And I'm going to
Teresa
tell you.
and Juicy.
I
George,
Ow.
creepy.
And-
Every bath scene is creepy.
obsessed with baths. I love a bath. If I ever get rich, I want to have like 17 bathrooms, but maybe only like a few toilets. I want 1,000 bathtubs because I am a bath freak. But listen, I don't want to see Meredith and Seth be taking a bath with, as Whitney says, their bacteria, their DNA.
Okay, question for you. Do you fall on the side of Whitney as a bath lover yourself? Would you want to take a bath with another person, or would that be bath time is my time?
I could do both. I'm
Okay.
not trying to film it.
Versatile.
Yeah, I would do both. But
I also think they just come off really creepy because it's the one thing that I think the viewers at home can't separate that there are cameras in the bathroom. Like we kind of watch with it's like we obviously know cameras. There's a camera line. We know we don't see them. We know that they're there. But for some reason, when you do a bathroom scene, it reminds you. Like it's just like, oh, there are people in here. And I think when viewers at home are watching that, they can't unsee that.
you can feel it.
It's a subconscious thing that feels.
You can feel it. And so they may be doing what they would normally do, but they're also not trying to like whip their dicks out. I mean, some people definitely don't care, but some people are, they're trying to be modest. Like Meredith Marks when she was in the tub and missing so-and-so's dad's funeral or whatever the fuck last year. Remember when they went to Aspen or no, Vale?
Fail.
Vale? I think it was Vale. Anyway, so it's like, I also, and we've talked about it before, I worked on a show, guys, where I had to watch sex every day for 2 weeks straight, which sounds weird, but it was a show about couples who were together, committed, monogamous, but also like wanted to spice their life up, and they wanted to create an elevated sex tape. So, it's great. I took notes on that show. So like I'm kind of just disabused. So they don't creep me out as much, but I don't know. I just think I do want to retire them.
I agree.
They just feel really cheesy.
Well, it's also the people. I think
that's
if we had
another-
like a couple that was really hot, really into each other, then maybe it would read a little
Like if it was Bryn and
differently.
Gideon,
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
I'm like,
that.
you can devote an entire act to that.
Yeah,
Like honestly, or
They'd
like,
be like having champagne and caviar and like
yeah, and Mauricio. I could watch Mauricio just do a bubble bath solo.
Okay.
totally fine with that.
Smoking a joint, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah,
we actually, they should get that sometime.
that would be wonderful.
So going back to Meredith and Heather and this bullshit scene.
Yeah.
Which here's the thing. With this show, I'll say it's bullshit or whatever. It's perfect for the show.
Yeah.
But it's just very Meredith being and doing the most because she needs to get back in everybody's good graces. So this is where they come up with the idea, or not they, but Heather wants to bring everybody back together because for the first time, she has learned that hate's always going to be around. She is living authentically
As a
for the
bad
first
woman.
time. I just need to know what the fuck the last 3 years were. Was that not your authentic self?
I mean, couldn't any one of us in this room argue that no, there was absolute levels of inauthenticity running rampant throughout the show?
She was wild.
Yeah.
Wild. I'm still waiting to hear about the black eye. Let's call it what it is, Jen Shaw. Okay. We all know it's John.
We're never going to hear. And the only reason she thinks it's inauthentic is because the viewers told her it was. Heather is someone that very much, sorry, close your eyes, very much like Kyle. She cares very, very, very deeply on how she's perceived and what the viewers think.
I know how to lip read.
And, and I think because she got such bad feedback, that's where she's saying, the haters are going to hate. When she can't really just take accountability for maybe some of the bad actions that she did and not being so forthcoming. But I think if she was still getting a pass and people still thought she was a really fun and endearing housewife, like we thought the first season, she would think that she's been spending her whole life being authentic on the show. But because she's gotten bad feedback, now she really needs to be authentic this season.
Unfortunately,
lean into it.
Heather, I'll say that Heather experienced what I call the Bachelor effect, where you go into the show being plucked from nowhere, and then you leave being like, oh my God, what is this? I have 2 million followers and all these things. And I won't say that like they get lost in it in a way that's very self-centered or anything like that. But you get excited because for the first time maybe in your whole life, and I can't speak for Heather. There's so many things in her life that she's proud and successful for and all those things, but she wasn't like cool because she was in her marriage. It was very strict, all of these things. She got to allow her freak flag to fly, but she flew a little too close to the sun.
Yeah.
And she couldn't take the heat. I remember all the things that people were saying, but I'm not trying to trivialize, but if I'm just doing some comparison hangovers here, I didn't think that what she got was that bad. To me, it was pretty average for backing a person up that everyone thinks is trash.
Oh, like the hate or the,
yeah.
I mean, look, our view of how people come after reality stars has, I think, vastly changed
Even
in the
since
last
then.
year, or even in the last 8 months.
Sure.
So in hindsight, yeah, no, she got fucking nothing. Now, at the time, sure, I'm sure it felt like she was getting a bunch, but then that got blown out of water.
Because she didn't want to talk about the black eye. She was in
Which she
full
should have.
control.
No, she had control over all of it. That is her own fault. Fucking say your truth.
How the fuck else did it get there? Guys, here's what I'm going to say. Anybody at home who's like, God, I don't know. It's Jen Shaw.
It's Jen Shaw.
I'm going to be the first
Jen
to tell you.
Shaw.
She's in prison now. I'll say it. It's Jen Shaw.
There's no way that it wasn't.
No.
And here's the thing: if it wasn't Jen Shaw, and we talked about this then, Heather would have been like, I woke up with this black eye. I don't know how I got it. I was wasted last night. It kind of hurts. I don't know if I fell on something. It would be that. It would never be, well, maybe I'll tell in the book, or maybe I can't say, or fuck off.
She went from, this is what happened to me, Jen. What? To, you know what happened, to, can't talk about it. That's how I know it was Jen Shaw. Because it was supposed to be kind of funny, and then it didn't turn out, and I think Jen Shaw got probably upset, and then
Jen
it turned
Shaw was
into...
super awkward. Do you remember how, like, uncomfortable and weird she was on that trip when, like, they were talking about it? She was super quiet.
But I can see a micro expression from a fucking mile away.
That's right.
And she was sitting in the corner. I'm like, first of all, you're being quiet enough, but you're not being, like, too quiet. I'm like, you're playing the game. And then it just got fucking weird. Yeah. It just got weird. And then the next day I'm like, I don't know what game you guys are playing, but we're not fools. What I think happened is that, I don't know, can't say what I think happened and how it happened, but Jen Shaw gave her the black eye. I think that Heather probably mentioned it or said something to someone, which is then what ultimately we see the about face when she's like, I don't know. I never said I knew. And I think that she's a person that operates on paranoia and fear. We saw her on Ultimate Girls Trip, disaster. So she's just that type of a chick, you know?
Totally.
And outside of the show, I think you and I would really like her. But
I loved her season
I know.
one,
I
which
think
I would arguably say is probably the most real to how she actually is.
Yes.
Totally.
So I just, I'm just watching somebody just destroy themselves in front of me, and it's hard to watch.
Yeah. But I do. I think that I think it slipped. I'm not saying like on a mic or anything like that, but I do. I think that she definitely said something about it, but didn't want to do anything about it. And then pretended like it didn't happen and pretended like she didn't know how it got there. She essentially, what I'm trying to say is that I believe that she gaslit probably the crew, producers, the network.
Yeah. I would eventually.
Would you echo that?
I would echo that.
Would you echo that, executive producer?
I would echo that. Yeah.
Okay. Heather wants to plan this thing. She wants to get her back together. She hasn't seen Whitney since the reunion.
And they met up the day before.
I don't care.
No,
Aren't they cousins?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah. But
Are
weren't
they
they friends first and then found out that they were like third cousins?
Yeah.
The same with Angie.
They're all
H.
related in Utah somehow, I guess, at some point.
Well, here's the thing. It's a weird thing to kind of talk about because there is the polygamy part, which is not what they practice, but then there's the 15 kids. There's just a lot of family, right?
Mm-hmm.
That, and I don't mean this to sound ugly at all, but there's just a lot of family. I mean, I come from a Mexican family. Any given holiday is 50 people. And every time I meet somebody new that I met the year before and that I met the year before and I forget. So it's just, you just kind of forget who's your cousin. Who's your cousin? Who's your mother? And that's when we find out about the page 6. That was a little too convoluted for me. I get it. Seth is creepy. And let's be clear, Seth is kind of just kooky. Okay?
Yeah.
He's kooky. But then we get Meredith and Mary. Guys, Mary's back.
How do we feel about Mary being back?
Well, yeah. Did you have thoughts about it, Betsy, before going into the season, whether or not you cared if Mary was coming back?
I didn't care.
Okay.
I really liked Mary because she's just some of the things she says. I think
She's outrageous.
yeah, she's off the wall. Yeah. So I'm okay with it. I'm here for it. I'm interested to see how much she's going to be in this season.
What made you think that? Was it her sitting alone in some gazebo while everyone is playing in the snow and she's just watching from afar?
I can't tell if they're having fun or not.
But you know what?
Exactly.
That in and of itself, that's what she did. She didn't want to play, but it was comedy.
Yes.
For whatever reason, it translates as comedy. I'm watching that and I'm going, okay.
Because
It's
that's
just funny.
because that lives in her truth.
Yeah,
she's
that's just who she is.
She's not going to get up and do a fucking snowball fight, whether she's an A-cast or not. She's not
She
doing
doesn't
that.
give a fuck.
And listen, Meredith needs a lifeline. Let's call
God.
that what it is. Meredith needs somebody.
She's lifelining everyone. Phoning a friend.
She's
seriously.
so much to the fact that she's trying to sidebar Lisa. And whatever, we'll let you try.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I'm dying to know what you felt about that
well,
when we get to it.
okay.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, no, I'm okay with
Dying.
I'm okay with Mary because Mary does add a level of severe comedy, and she's never afraid to speak how she feels.
Right.
I do think her last season, I am happy that she left or took a break or whatever because it was a little bit too much, and you can tell that she does have aspects of her life that she does not want to share. So I think as a friend of, maybe she's going to play the perfect role as someone who kind of just does some, off-color remarks and kind of,
Pops in and out.
Yeah. I think this will be a better fit for her. I don't need to see her every episode, but I definitely think she can add some fun commentary to like group events.
I love that she's a friend. I don't need to see Robert, and I don't need to see Robert Sr.
No, I don't either.
And I don't need to
Agreed.
see that turquoise kitchen.
No.
Please no.
Can't.
And I don't need to hear about shit going on with her church. Like I
Right.
honestly,
Yeah.
I don't want to know that.
I don't want to
either.
know. I don't care. That's not real estate that we should be devoting in this season. This season needs to be a rebuilding season.
Well, I also understood initially why they went into it, just because of everyone's very religious and they're all part of these communities. But there was something going on with that church, and I hope she figured it out in the season that she was off.
Yeah.
Because and maybe I'm unfun, but I can't do another season of Criminal Activity. Erica took a lot out of me.
Yeah.
Jen Shaw's taken a lot out of me. I just can't do another, trial by fire type
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
I just can't do another court proceeding and this and that and da da da
No,
da.
I'm done.
Yeah.
What I will say is that intro scene though with Mary and Meredith, nothing happened. I thought, what a fucking
It was a
boring
nothing.
scene.
Nothing.
It was.
They go and
Well-
eat lunch. How are you? Kids are good. Husband's good. Yeah, husband's good. Kids are good. Well, friend group's a little bit off. Did you hear Jen went to prison? Oh yeah, I knew that was. It's like, okay, what is this?
Well, hold on.
I thought it was terrible.
There was one moment in here that because I agree 100% with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, not 100. I'll say 95 because there was 5%. There was a moment that to me was perfect and brought comedy. And I'm surprised you didn't flag this when she's
Well, what
talking
is
about
it?
Robert Jr.
Oh yeah.
and how he's a girlfriend, but she's
Oh,
been
yeah,
hearing that he's married, and I don't know. I have to, and then I think it's the producer who
Yeah.
says, Mary says, I think to Meredith, like I have to ask him about that, and the producer in the chair says, doesn't he live in the same house as you?
This
Like
That's what I mean.
That was so absurd. You're finding out from other people that your son, who still lives in your home, who you see every day,
But I believe
is in
it.
fact married, and Mary has just not asked him. She's
Yeah.
a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
And the thing is, I
She doesn't
believe
wanna
it.
know.
so do I.
There's an aspect
Any
that she
other-
doesn't want to know, so that's why she's not asking.
Correct.
I think it's hysterical.
Just kind of like when we were talking about Ramona in the Roni recap, we're like, we believe when Ramona acts crazy
Yeah.
the way that she does, but we're not believing it when Aaron does it. It just
Right,
doesn't make
right,
sense.
right.
I believe Mary Cosby.
So do
Oh,
I.
yeah.
I think that she is 100% exactly who she is.
Head in the clouds, living in, the air above the smell of hospital.
God. And she
Also,
can't-
the hospital smell sound up when we get Mary's
yeah,
walk
yeah.
up
Oh my
was fucking
God.
wonderful too.
and she can't go to convenience stores. Here's what
The
I'll say
dangerous.
before we move on. Mary Cosby, I would be remiss. I can't not say it. She's very problematic at times, but she also brings a levity that just allows you to sit back and go, what the fuck am I watching? Like Ramona
Yeah.
pooping her pants. You know what
Or
I mean?
Sonia sometimes too. It's like
Yes.
it's almost like a Sonia Ramona hybrid
Yes.
in a way.
Yes.
So like the ridiculous.
I don't need her getting into conflict. I just kind of want her to
That's
have
what
fun.
I mean. Just be
a
in the
Taylor.
background and have commentary.
Yeah, and have
Exactly.
fun.
Tell Heather she looks unbred.
Do exactly
You know what I mean?
what
God.
she- Oh my
Which is-
God.
Which is horrifying.
So
but
good.
who else is going to say that? I mean, first
No
of all,
one.
First of all, Heather, just so you know, we don't
We do
subscribe
not
to that. We don't
subscribe
think
to
you
that.
look like
We
that
do
at
not
all.
think that you look
But
inbred.
The fact that she said that is funny.
Also, congratulations on the house and the beauty bar.
I was like, wait, where's this going? Where's this congratulations going? But you know, I mean, she's nutty. She's nutty, and we kind of need that energy.
When was the last time we had somebody nutty like that?
Sonia.
It's, I mean,
Delusional, nutty, kind of quirky.
No, Katie from
Katie Roast from Potomac. That to me,
she was nutty, kind of in the same way.
She was season
like
one,
very
right?
delusional.
No,
yeah,
what
she
season
was.
was-
She
she
was
was
season one.
she was season 1
and 2. I think
the iconic quote of
"You're not dumb" or something like. What does she say?
like-
She's talking to
she goes,
Ashley.
I'm not dumb. Ashley says that.
Yeah.
She's like, okay,
Oh, yeah, maybe
so
you're stupid.
By the way, I think I haven't seen.
You haven't seen season 1 of Potomac. I know.
haven't. I started season 3, I think,
well,
or half of 2 in season 3,
Because
and I've been ever since.
I had suggested to you that you didn't necessarily need to see season 1.
Right, and it was like going into season 5 or something, so I had a lot to catch up
and for
on.
our listeners
and
out there who disagree with that, there are reasons why. Because it's a first season show.
Yeah, and you're
they
getting
don't
acclimated.
build. Yeah, so I was like, yeah.
So if you only had, I only had, I think, a couple of weeks, and I was on a show, and you said you can skip season 1 so that you can catch up on the rest before the premiere.
Now, I would tell people to skip season 1 of Southern Charm, but it's only 8 episodes, so it really kind of gives you the backstory of Catherine and Thomas. Like, that's a show that I would be like, well,
You keep season. See, God, you can't skip season 1. I mean, it is a different show, but like, you fucking end the season with her pregnant.
What's
like,
that chick's name? The alternative
Jenna.
one? I'm like, who did that casting? Whitney. I was like, Whitney, did you cast that,
That was
person?
a Whitney Southern
It reeks of LA and it reeks of Whitney.
Yeah, they're friends.
Yep. Okay, guys, Monica. This was a perfect scene. I know I mentioned it earlier because it's with Lisa and Angie K, so it makes sense thematically why they'd be together. But this is also where we get Monica's backstory a little bit, which I really appreciated, just kind of baked into the conversation.
Making an entrance, if you will.
She absolutely made an entrance. Oh, and before I move on, I just want to say, Meredith Marks, your face is snatched. It looks perfect.
Yeah.
I just want to say that because I had it in my notes and I just wanted to throw that out there.
It's true. She looks great.
Maybe I'm trying to suck up to Meredith. Maybe
As Meredith's trying to suck up to the audience.
Exactly.
Listen,
Exactly.
I'm going to turn around with Meredith. Let's see where it goes.
We'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic, erring on the side of caution always. Always.
I'm just cautious.
Always and always.
All right, so we're back with Angie K, Monica, and Lisa Barlow. I know we talked about it a little bit at the top, so we won't stay too long on here. But one thing we forgot to mention is that Monica really just delves into all the things that Jen Shaw was essentially, cultivating and encouraging her to do. Just $600,000 a year. You just put this in your name, and then she gets a call from her friend in the Secret Service, or she calls her friend in the Secret Service.
Yeah, which she doesn't explain why she called her friend in the Secret Service. That detail she left out, but
I think to ask if
She said she felt very weird.
Yeah.
She
felt
felt
weird
very
about it.
like
Oh, she
grossed
did.
out.
Okay,
She's
I
like,
missed
I
that.
felt
She
very
knew-
odd that she did this, so I called my friend in the
well,
Secret
this was
Service.
like the grown-up version to me of like, come here, little child, in the white van. I've got candy. It's like, here, you want $600,000 a year? Just sign on this paper. It's going to be no big
Well, yeah,
deal.
because now I'm wondering, what did Jen Shaw get from that? What would she have gotten from that? Who encourages people? Come here, just come here.
Well, if her assistant or someone who's like an underling is making $600K, Jen's making 7 figures.
That's just disgusting.
Which is why she is about, a couple hours away from here, sitting in a nice state
She's in
penitentiary.
one of the best prisons
Camp
in
Ryan.
the entire United States.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
She's
at summer camp.
They do. They have all these activities and things.
But I did find it like, I mean, look, this is why very quickly out of the gate, I am like all about Monica being involved. She's confident, she's self-assured, she's great in the interview chair, but then she also just like, she comes out and just drops it all. And it doesn't feel, I don't know why it doesn't feel this way, but it doesn't feel like she's doing it just for like, I don't want to say for show because it is for the show,
Like
but
clout.
like for clout or for
Like Teddy Mellencamp outing Denise?
Correct. It does not feel...
Okay, they said you had sex.
God.
Fuck
Again,
up.
you guys can't see it, but she was almost doing the upper body version of Kyle's Teddy impersonation.
I
Like,
was.
"Rah, rah, rah."
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like that. It just felt very matter of fact and like a little bit of a wink and a nod. Like, this is what happened. And I called my friend who's in the Secret Service, and he said, get away from her. She's going to get arrested. And 2 months later, she was.
I think the reason why it works is because if I didn't know any better, I would have thought Monica was with this cast the entire time. There's something about her that just naturally
Effortless.
Fits in.
She just fits.
Yeah, she
like
does.
like that last puzzle piece.
Yeah.
That you never get out of the 3,000 puzzle piece set, and you're always missing the one. Monica feels
Like she
just
is it.
has the kind of the package.
Yeah.
And I like seeing these three together because Lisa Barlow, who I mean is unequivocally all of our favorites.
Yes.
I feel comfortable speaking for both. Of
I
you.
think she might be the number one housewife of all franchises right now.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She's top 3 for sure.
I'm sure
Possibly.
somebody's gonna drag my ass for that.
That's probably
She's
hard to do.
fantastic.
She's perfect.
But she had found herself on a bit of an island,
Yeah.
you know, and
And by the way, stood on that island and said, "Fuck you! I take
Yes.
no prisoners."
double down. Good for
Yes,
you.
because she stands in
Yes.
her. Regardless of what you think about Lisa Barlow, she's exactly who she is.
Yes.
she doesn't put anything on for camera. That's just how she is, and I truly believe that within the depths.
Absolutely.
The same clip we got. Do you ever have a mute button? No, baby, I'm always on play. And she believes
Like that. I'm like,
and
oh my
she
God.
believes that.
And that rant, which Betsy had to
Y'all.
point out to me with the 5 houses. I was like, she said that in the rant.
I want to get that rant. I still want to get that rant put on a coffee mug or something that we
Well,
can.
I think we
Or a
can.
poster or something.
Oh
we
my
can
God.
Put one day when we have an office.
To me, Lisa Barlow is like Lieutenant Dan, like weathering
Yes.
like
Yes.
Hurricane Carmen.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, "Whoa, no legs, I'm up here." You know what I mean?
100%.
Well, you're right. She stood alone because she believed in what she was doing and she didn't give a fuck.
Uh-huh.
And she knew that, honestly. I think Lisa has the wherewithal to know that like people love her and we're going to stand with her.
Yeah. I wish Meredith also had that wherewithal, but she didn't.
She was overinflated. She thought she did and she was wrong.
She's consumed with loving Seth and Brooks.
Brooks big time.
I know.
Seth, I don't know about that.
Brooks
but-
is traumatized from Jen Shaw's labia. So another infraction why Jen Shaw should be in prison. No one needs to see that lip. No one needs to see that lip.
But yeah, I love seeing the grouping. I love seeing
Yeah.
Lisa. I feel like Lisa is now being able to kind of build out a crew around her. Since we know that, like, you know, things with Meredith, things with Heather, like there is a division, but it's not a division that is insurmountable. It works because there are these camps, but they are able to intermingle.
Doesn't it? They're hanging out.
They're hanging
now
out.
they're doing like
Well, everyone
they're-
with Meredith, but
yeah, but they're doing that thing, and I'm here for it. That Beverly Hills shit, where they're like, "Hi,
kiss,
kiss, kiss." Yes,
How are the kids?
Muffy. Yeah, it's like
Then
I
they turn
can't.
around and say, "Bitch."
No, I mean Lisa does that, but Lisa Rinna.
Yes.
But thus far, it feels like everyone kind of gets along, even though no one gets along right now.
Yeah, and that'll all go to shit. But yeah, I was here for it.
And I'm also really excited to see Monica's story. She's single. She's got 4 kids.
Oh, yeah. All
4
girls.
young girls. Oh God.
17 to 6, I think. Something
horrifying.
like that.
Oh, I'm just so glad they're not all on their menstrual cycle.
Oh,
I
God.
could you imagine?
In about 11 years, she's going to be living a life of freedom. That's the only thing I can think about is that she has 4 girls that are high school
can't.
age and below.
Monica, we're praying for you now.
Well, Kyle had 4. What was the separation with Kyle's daughters? Or some of them are closer in age, though, aren't they?
Yeah, so Farrah's what, 32, 33? Then you've got
Alexia?
Alexia, who I think at this point is probably 27.
Yeah, something like that.
And then
Who's with
Sophia.
Sophia.
who I think just graduated college,
She's
so maybe
22.
23.
And then Portia's
Okay.
like 16.
So they're all
Yeah.
kind of like 4 or 5 years apart,
Yeah.
maybe? Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know,
tough.
you also have what I love
That's just
is
tough. That's
It is.
a lot.
is
It is
tough.
tough. It is tough.
that is fucking hard. Going to the store at 10 p.m. to get milk and
Oh,
it's, like,
yeah. I
relatable.
really like that.
Oh,
I
yes.
really like that.
That's what I mean. She's going to offer us a little bit of relatability.
balance.
Yeah, I don't need somebody being uber wealthy. Diana Jenkins would fail.
Yeah.
I don't need
Get
that.
out.
You know what I mean?
No, you don't.
Especially with SLC, like it's a small city.
Yeah.
It's very, very small. So it feels just natural. Anyway.
Yeah.
It does.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm here for. I mean,
I'm here for it.
a lot of season left. Obviously, that's what they say in sports. We got a lot of season left.
got a lot of
but
season.
listen, the first game went well, especially with her. I thought very, very very good first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
But you have to look at it like college. With SLC, they get 1 game to lose,
Yeah.
maybe 2, but that's it.
And then they're out.
And they're out.
And they're out.
Lose the chance at the championship.
Yeah. It's tough. It is cutthroat.
Go Texas Tech.
Shut the fuck up.
Go Longhorns.
Betsy and I were
Yeah,
Yeah, baby.
Betsy and I were discussing
Eagles.
the faith.
You know what?
The faithful
No.
game in 2009. I think it was 2009 game.
Yeah.
Where Texas Tech beat UT.
Well, I mean, it was in a regular season game, but they beat them, and it cost us from going
I know, it's so sad.
to potentially being the national championship.
And
And
It
I'm
cost,
glad-
or your team cost that?
well, no, the losing cost.
Oh,
So,
yeah. They're playing.
I did
for
tell
skill.
Lauren, because she said that she was with a group of UT people and she cheered, once Tech won. And I said, I'm glad that I wasn't with you. Life could have taken us a different way, y'all.
Wreckin' fucking Raiders. Okay, I went to Texas Tech my first year. I couldn't do Lubbock. I liked Tech. I couldn't do Lubbock. Guys, listeners out there, my people, you hear my voice. Could you imagine me living in fucking Lubbock with tumbleweeds and shit? The town where Buddy Holly's from. It's just desolate out there. But
I need to ask you in a real way though, like if
Yeah.
when this season, I mean, we won't watch it together, but this season, if you come across watching UT versus Tech, you're telling me you're going to be rooting for Tech.
I'll be rooting for no one.
I need you to tell me what side you'd be
Okay,
on.
well, because I'm in your home and I mean Austin, Texas, I'll be rooting for UT.
Okay.
I'll do it for you.
All right. Thank you.
I just like
There you go.
games. Guys, I like games. I love going to college games. I say this like I go to games all the time. But I do. I like really just basketball games.
I've
I was
never
a
gone to a college
I was
game.
a beat baller.
I'll take you to
What?
a Texas
I've never
game.
been to a college football
We'll go
game.
to a Texas game.
Let's do it.
I'll go to one that I feel pretty secure about.
Because Betsy's so afraid that she's gonna be so angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that she's gonna lose her cool.
Yeah.
She's like, we need to do one where
Yeah.
I know where they're gonna
When we
win.
play North Texas.
I was literally about to say, when they play North Texas, where's Baylor at this year?
Oh, I don't know. Baylor's always a crapshoot.
It is.
So
They're always
I
like
don't know.
ranked, and then sometimes they're just
Yeah,
nowhere
it's
to be
tricky.
found.
Yeah.
The Big 12 is so tricky. But
is.
anywho,
Anyhow,
All right, Red Heather's party.
Heather and Whitney's party.
new beginnings. What's it
See,
called?
okay,
New beginnings.
fresh start.
Okay, I wish that we had a cap
fresh fart.
on how many new beginnings, a renewal,
True
fresh
religion.
fresh
Do-over.
start. What did Bethany
Yeah.
say with Ramona's party? Begin again or something? She's like, what was hers called?
Work in progress. It was new beginnings.
Yes.
It was new beginnings.
It's new beginnings.
Stop it. Stop all of them. Like, have some creativity.
Fresh start.
I
Guys,
don't know.
guys, I'm gonna throw an event called Fresh Start.
Okay.
By the way,
Use this promo code to get 25%
By the
off
way,
your
it's
first
only for
order
me
of Fresh
because I'm the
Start.
one that shit my bed
Exactly.
last season. But I'm going to pretend that it's all of us that need the event.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Let's throw a party together.
Yeah, it's going to take me a long time to trust you. Okay, well, let's move forward.
Look, this may be one of those times, and it's very rare where I'm enjoying an episode so much that I'll miss certain things. I don't remember Heather really planning this party.
It was in the
It's in-
flashback.
yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
and she talks, I think, a little bit about it with Meredith.
She does,
you know,
yeah.
because they're gonna be seeing Whitney, and
Right.
you have to go. The audience needs to know that they haven't talked since the reunion. I feel like that scene was only purposed for that. I'm like, we know they haven't talked since the reunion, but okay, fine. I didn't understand it because I don't know. I didn't feel like there was a lot of planning. Why are we having this? I know why, but it just didn't feel very. The theme of the party didn't feel cohesive, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. It felt like they needed a reason to get everyone in a room together, so this is what they came up with.
Which is oftentimes what we do as producers.
It absolutely is.
Now, we want
Absolutely.
real events. We live and die for real events.
100%.
I can't speak for Housewives unequivocally, but the large ensemble shows that executive producer and I work on, oftentimes those events are they're real events that are happening.
Right.
That we contribute money to, maybe to make it a little bit bigger, like just to have a little bit more decor. This
This was not.
is a great
No.
episode, but what is this party? And then they're outside and there's like no chairs for anybody. It's just like, what
It was
Well, I
very
just want you to
odd.
think the difference of
Mm-hmm.
who's saying it, right? How different it would be if Lisa Barlow was hosting this event.
It'd be so nice.
Well, I mean, not even just the event itself, but just maybe how we are hearing about it, how we're, how we're conveying it to the other women.
Correct.
Because it's she talks about it with Meredith, and she's basically like, we're gonna get together, and there's gonna be mimosas, and Meredith is like, okay, I'm in mimosas, yum, and I'm like, okay, try.
I'm sorry.
Try harder. Take
so
it.
hard.
It's very. I hate
Oh,
to say
she's trying
this.
so hard.
I love all of our listeners, but it's just like very like white people shit. Like mimosa, and then that fucking
DNA,
dig. Not to get off track.
bacteria in your vagina. What?
Thank you. The dig at Whitney. I was like, what are they even saying? And then on the fly, I was like, she could have come up with anything. Like, why don't you pull that dildo out of your fucking asshole that your husband put in there months ago, Whitney?
I got here at the end of when
so many fucking
That's
things.
where we went.
when Laura was
Would've
watching
been better.
this episode, and
It would have been.
It was that scene when she was like, "Did I talk about your vagina and the bacteria?" And Laura goes, "This is the whitest shit I've ever seen."
It is. It's fucking white people shit. Fucking white people shit. Bacteria. It's like venereal disease. It's like, just say STD, please. Please. It's like, it's the people who go, pee pee, your VV. It's like,
God.
it's
Stop
penis and it's vagina. Like, I'm not doing this with you today.
Together.
And then I forgot that we're in Salt Lake City and it's Mormon,
Yeah.
and it's like, I guess I get it now, and I have to check myself. I'm going, ugh, why can't they just say the things that they want to say? Whitney does, but only in the privacy of her bathtub with her husband and the cake and the this and the that.
Right. That's right.
So I just didn't quite get it, but I get it. Fresh
Fine,
start.
We're here. I mean,
We're here. We're everyone together,
Correct.
including Mary Crosby.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it.
What did because I feel like this is what you were asking Lauren, you were asking Betsy about earlier when
Sure.
Lisa and Mary finally crossed paths at the party.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Take it away.
Go.
Well, that I think was one of my favorite scenes. When
I felt it.
when they did the kind of like the side hug or whatever, and then
Mwah.
and then Mary's like, "Oh, I like that jacket," and then we get the cut to the confessional with Lisa Barlow, and Lisa Barlow just going off on that text that Mary sent her. You're an idiot. You're stupid. You're a
Oh
witch.
my God, literally.
Black Widow.
Your tequila's gonna kill people.
Nasty.
Oh yeah,
Mary-
Black Widow.
Yeah, Mary didn't say nice things about me. You're the biggest idiot, Black Widow, biggest liar in Utah. You'll kill people with Vita. Yeah.
My,
Let me die on that Vita
favorite
Hill.
part, though, is right after when she was like, "You're the biggest liar." Lisa goes, "Wow," and then she continues. She continues to read the text. If I could just have Lisa read everything and just the way that Lisa reads things, I think I would pay a lot of money for that.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel does the celebrities read their like tweets.
Oh, mean tweets. Yeah.
I think Lisa Barlow should do that.
Oh, absolutely.
but
Oh my
are there
God,
going to be any mean
yes.
tweets?
No, but she can read other people's. It's okay. I just.
She should read mean tweets about Meredith.
Oh my God,
That
that'd
was
be amazing.
one of
Lisa and
She's like,
Yanning
El Barlow. I mean, so and so 13 says.
Well, and the great thing about Lisa, because
The
you know
Jen
how
Shaw.
when she's reading this, outrageous message from Mary, you know that she doesn't give a fuck.
No.
You know she's not reading it with like, wow, I'm really hurt. She's just like, this is what she said. Wow, I'm a witch. I'm a Black Widow. My tequila's gonna kill people. It's just like, it's just so outrageously and so far removed from anything she actually believes.
No, because
That
she's
is
the queen of fucking Sundance. Okay?
perfect.
I want to know if she's hung out with Robert Redford.
Oh, your favorite.
I just want to know.
Indeed.
So, were you going to say something, executive?
No, go for it.
So, Heather grabs everybody together. She wants to wash her sins away. Like Tamara, she wants to be baptized. Like Vicky, she wants to be nailed to the cross. Okay? She wants to wash away her sins. She wants to feel fresh. Start fresh. By the way, it feels like an educational program, like Even Start or something. Like if you start fresh. Or
It does.
honestly,
It's
it
like-
feels like a douche that you would buy. Like start fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Oh,
feels
doesn't
a
it?
little secondhand.
By the way, it goes all the way back to venereal diseases and
We're
all
really
sorts of shit.
on a roll here.
Guys, this episode, I don't know. Please, guys, forgive us with this episode, okay? We can't always get them. You know what I mean? we can't always get them. We try. We fucking try.
I know.
So you're ready to be baptized. We were trolled online. Our relationships were fractured. Let's leave it at brunch today. This is what I mean is white people shit. let's leave all of our problems that we've had for the last 10 years at brunch today in the snow, out cold. Like, can we not sit inside?
It feels like they're just doing, it's like, it's a little bit too much.
Where are they? I don't know where they are. So
No idea.
the location feels weird to do this, like, get fresh brunch.
It's pretty, but there's no context.
Well, and I know that it has to be an all cast event, and God, am I so happy that Lisa Barlow's there. But this really needs to be a meeting between Heather and Meredith that need to cleanse their soul, because really they're trying to pretend that everybody had the same backing
Correct.
for Jen that they did.
Yep.
But they didn't.
They're trying to parcel out their responsibility onto everyone else.
Yeah. They're the ones that rode the hardest for Jen, so y'all can own it independently between the two of you. You don't need everyone had a hard last season. Well, that's because y'all poisoned the group with the Jen shit. So that's all I got to say about that.
yeah.
Lisa brings Angie K to the party. And Heather's like, I told her she could bring a friend, but I didn't know she was going to bring the one person who spread all of these terrible, terrible, terrible rumors. And what are those rumors exactly? That she's gay? That what? That Jen
Tell us.
That Jen hit her in the eye? Because I think what she's implying here is the gay thing, which is
Right.
Here's what I'm going to say. I know that she's an ally, Heather is, but I'm really ready for us to move past he called me gay and that's defamatory. I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Like you can't be, it's one thing to spread lies. It's another to be like, he can't call me that. Like, that's horrible. It's disgusting. Let me just say that the rest of us homos at home, we're like,
Home, Mose.
woo, we're here at home.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to reprimand anybody, but I do want us to start veering away from the,
Well, it's the same thing as like outing people and stuff like that. It's just like everyone take a seat.
yes, I understand being upset about the rumor with the black eye. I understand being upset that anybody could say that like you were doing something that you weren't doing. That's the problem, right? But it did feel that there was this undertone of like it was the gay thing that was bothering her.
Yeah.
Did you feel that way?
Well, she did, just a minor correction, she did say it was the worst rumor that was ever started.
Exactly. So that's what it was.
It wasn't
Because-
like she spread bad, terrible. She goes,
No.
she spread the worst rumor ever. And it was like, okay.
because
Like,
I
calm it
remember
down.
the energy that I felt watching it was like, this is about being gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause you can just
scissor
feel it.
kicking, yeah.
Yeah.
So she says, scissor kicking and shit, and then she sucks her in the eye.
Scissor kicking.
That's what she said.
last season.
That's what Angie K
Right.
says.
Yeah, that's what she was saying.
Look, I've dated men, I've dated women, I've dated everybody. Okay, let me just tell you one thing: scissoring is a myth. Okay, scissoring is a myth. That is not. That is some fucking never-ending story, mythical shit. That doesn't fucking happen. That happens in pornos for men. Fucking scissoring. Anyway, I just want to say that real quick.
Anyway,
'cause
well, I mean,
scissor kicking.
Yeah.
It's a double-sided dildo, Heather. Just in case you were wondering. Okay.
oh God.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
But yeah,
Yeah.
she was like, but you know what? This is moving forward, a fresh start. So I will have a fresh start with Angie K.
Yeah, we'll see how
So,
fucking
how long that
lasts.
lasts? Yeah.
We'll see how long that lasts. Also, whatever. I think Angie K knows what's up. Okay?
Probably does.
I do. I think Angie K knows more than most.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Put Angie and Monica together.
I need them together.
Yeah.
I need them to do a classic Kim Richards and Brandy Glanville wigs out there, fucking like looking for the guy that Brandy's
Yeah.
dating. Like I need them. I need them to do that. I need them to do that.
They do.
So, Betsy, how many books have you read in your lifetime?
Not very many.
Is Bad Mormon one of them?
No.
New York Times bestseller, or as Meredith said, my New York Times bestseller friend.
Yeah. So I am like the cast because none of them read it either.
Which really tickled Heather. She
So-
loves that.
Do you think it was defiance, or do they just know her so well that like you don't want to read it? Because I was thinking about that, and sometimes there's just work of my colleagues or people I know that I just won't watch it. It's not because I don't care. It's just like you're just so embedded in it, or you just know so
I think
much.
it was probably a healthy combo of both.
Okay, I was just trying to be kind there. Okay, I was just trying to be kind. I don't know. It didn't, but it didn't feel defiant. Whitney was like, "Fuck this! She's gonna burn it." Like Lisa Rinna burning Garcelle's book. She's gonna burn
God.
it. But why didn't anybody read it? Wouldn't anybody be
know.
curious, or would they read it and pretend that they didn't?
I think they're all
No,
self-involved,
no.
and frankly, Heather was not on the top of most people's lists when this came out. So, in terms of the friendship circle,
Right.
Meredith should have read it.
Y'all know me very well. Have y'all ever seen me stop at, well, this is going on. I would still read it.
Yeah, but you were not one of the housewives.
No, but I'm saying if I was,
Yeah.
I would, even if I hated her, I'd absolutely fucking
I would do
read
a book
that.
on tape.
I want to know what is said in there, and I want to be
Let's also be very clear.
very
here.
armored.
Hold on. Let's be very clear. They may not have read the book. Whatever excerpts have to do with each one of them, they got sent.
Yeah, they did.
So, or the show, or things that are in and around, they didn't not read a single fucking paragraph of it. They just didn't go out, buy the book and read it. They
Well, because
definitely got things sent to them.
We know the story. We've been watching Heather's Bad Mormon for 4 years.
Legit.
Yeah.
I
I mean
really
this in
wasn't.
the nicest possible way. I don't care.
I don't care about the
Neither
book.
do
I
I.
don't care about the book, and
Very much in the same way I don't care that Jenna Lyons gives people gifts.
It just
I just don't care.
I just feel like right now Heather is bullshit, and I hate saying that because
I know.
that this experience has come well beyond when she got on the Housewives, and so I'm sure I can't say all, but I'm sure the majority of the book is probably very rich in experiences
Of
and
course,
stuff like that.
yes, I don't want to
But
take that away.
I can't even look at it that way right now because I just feel like it's all fluff. Like now, it's a platform and I'm a housewife and look
Yeah.
at me, I'm a bad Mormon, Heather, Whitney, bad weather. It's like, it's all kind of, she just loves being in the spotlight and that's okay. But it's just a little bit too much for me that I just have a hard time even wanting to celebrate the book because I feel like it's not even really about the book anymore. It's about that Heather wrote a book and Heather's a bestseller. It's not even about what's actually in the book. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I agree with that.
I would feel so cringy if my friend called me, my friend, New York Times bestseller. I don't even, if I could be a New York Times bestseller 10 times over again and I walk into a room, I want no one saying that to me. I'm being that serious.
too.
Am I not like that with producing?
You are.
I don't like that. I want to do a job well
You
good.
want to do the work and
Yeah, I don't.
do the work because you care about it.
I don't mind getting praise or being told like, wow, this is a really good scene. This is really good shit. It just felt very like, I'm a New York Times bestseller.
Performative.
My New York Times bestseller
it's
friend.
performative.
Yeah, and I'm with you. She just, I get what you're saying. It's interesting because Heather really made me upset last season, but I'm trying to understand your feeling on it because we both feel the same, but you have no tolerance for her anymore. And maybe it's because you went into it really loving her and I didn't. I went into it just very like whatevs. So I don't think she had as much of an effect on me when she did bad things like punch herself in the eye. So I don't have as much of an attachment. But what I will say is that I completely validate and understand feeling like, why would you want to read the book? Why would anybody want to read the book? Because you just feel like, is this the Heather from season 1?
Right.
Because the Bad Mormon that we are being told that you're writing about is Heather season 1.
Yeah.
Or is it Heather season 2? You know what I mean?
Or 3.
Or 3.
In which case, unsubscribe.
Like, it just feels like we're going to get it, but is it going to be as raw? Is it really going to be vulnerable?
No.
I don't know.
Of course not.
And we have not read the book, guys. And honestly, I'll probably buy it today and just like skim through it. Because I don't want to make big sweeping statements and I've never read the book and it might be good, maybe bring me to tears, okay?
Yeah, I'd save the money.
And then I can call Heather my New York Times bestseller best
Listen,
friend.
I don't know what's going to happen in this season, and in regards to Heather, I want to sit back and watch a few things.
Yeah.
I want to sit back and watch how she handles any conversation around Jen, because what I would have a little bit of respect for her if she went into this season being like, you know what, that was my friend. I stood by her. I feel like she fooled me. I feel like a fucking idiot, and I'm eating crow. If she says anything along those lines, maybe I'll give her a little bit of leeway.
Sure.
But if she goes into the season with a little hint of what she talked to Mary about, being like, well, last season was hard because Jen was going through a hard time. I didn't feel like I could say certain things to Jen. I felt like, I was projecting because Jen was projecting. No fucking
She's
way.
so
I'm
full of
not
shit.
I'm not gonna
So
let
full of
that
shit.
fly, at least not in my goddamn house. I will fucking be
Here's what I'm going to say.
livid.
Jen
So I'll
Shaw,
just see what happens.
Jen Shaw's a lot of fucking things. She's currently a prisoner. Okay.
Yes.
I think that I'm hoping that she's getting all the mental health and wellness that she needs in this place. And I know it's essentially like Passages Malibu for fucking persons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm not going to accept, I don't give a fuck what Jen Shaw did, is Heather using her as a scapegoat.
Well, yeah, that's what
Because
she's doing.
Get out of here.
It's
So
your,
far.
I don't want to go as far as to say, Heather, it's your fault that you were involved in this. But take accountability. Fuck, have a fucking conviction. You last season were like, oh, my best friend and this and that. And like, her work was unsavory. And, but you still don't just
I'm a ride or die.
You still don't leave your friend out to dry, which, by the way, I respected because,
Right, sure.
Betsy, if you were to do something horrifyingly, I wouldn't go like, fuck off.
Right.
I mean, unless you're like a serial killer, unless you like murdered someone, but you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes.
I would still stand by your side, even if I know that I think you're guilty. And make no mistake, Heather knew that she was going to be fucking guilty.
Probably,
she was just
yeah.
hoping and this and that, and then she realized the backlash. So now she's scapegoating.
That's it. It's the backlash.
Yes.
It's not even like morally like,
No.
oh, now I realize that I shouldn't have done that. It's that the fans and the viewers
Correct.
perceive her as like weak and how could you do this? You
Correct.
stood by a criminal and you knew it. That makes you compliable. That's why she's having this reaction.
And what I want to say to Heather is that let them call you
Which
weak.
is a coward.
Let them fucking call you weak. What I think is much more admirable and takes a lot more integrity and conviction is to still be friends with the person who's in prison.
Right.
Because yes, she did horrible things. It's white collar crime. I'm not excusing it. I'm not glossing over it. I'm not trying to invalidate what it was. But at the same time, all you have to say is that you were doing the best that you could as a friend.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
No, there's not.
And by the way, fuck them. Fuck the content creators and the commenters and the TikTokers and the Twitters and the Twitterers and all that
Yeah.
shit. Here's the thing. They make the fucking wheels on the bus go. The viewers, the listeners, the memers, but they're there for their own job. Stop listening to that shit.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with standing by your friend who obviously, and it was very evident to all of us, was going to go to prison for a very long time.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you, Heather, a bad person.
Correct.
And just because a lot of people have something to fucking say about it, who gives a shit?
She folded like a coward.
It's like, look, have a backbone.
I know that's
Bad Mormon.
I wish in that scene with Mary when she was like, "Well, how do you feel?" Instead of being like, "Well, a weight's been lifted." Why couldn't you have said, "You know what? This has been a tough year. I'm having a hard time with my friend. My friend's in prison now." It's hard.
Yes.
Because that to me can live in authenticity, unless she was doing this all for
It's-
show anyway, which I don't think she was.
You could even say, and I'm going to use this analogy, so I hope you guys can follow, but having experienced the death of my father who was really sick, as sad as I was that he left, and I still grieve every day, there was a part of me that felt very relieved because he was no longer in pain, et cetera, et cetera.
Of course.
All Heather needs to do is say, look, what she did was wrong. Did I think that she did it? Yeah. Is it not a good look to a lot of people that I stood by my friend? Sure. But you know what? I may have left the Mormon church, but God's never left me. And that's who I am as a friend. And I stand by my friends.
And that would have been a
Yep.
hell of a lot more
I
respectable.
stand by my
Yep.
friends, and a huge weight has been lifted.
Yeah.
Not because I am so thankful that she's in prison, but because the truth is, guys, as much as we were friends and as much as I stood by her, it was tough.
Yeah.
Jen is
Yeah.
not easy.
But
And
she's saying
I
none of
feel-
those things.
And I feel like I finally can rest easy and fucking breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
No.
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 No. Instead, we get Buzz and Cousin. Buzz and Cousin. Remember Cousin? We used to get wasted and we used to bartend.
God.
Yeah.
And other substances that shall not be named. First of all, didn't even understand what the other substances were. It's like marijuana. What is it? Fucking ketamine.
yeah.
Fucking ketamine.
Jesus Christ.
Guys, it's an anesthesia. Like it's an
Yeah.
anesthetic. You do people, I mean, they use it recreationally. Yeah. They also have shown that like ketamine is helpful with like mental illnesses, like
Yeah, and it's
all of these
microdosing.
things. I just need to know, did Heather write about doing ketamine in Bad Mormon? And did she do ketamine when she was still a part of the church? I need to
Great
know.
question.
Heather, DM us.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let us know. And then out of nowhere, we go from Special K to what you said about me. You're lying, Whitney. Doesn't she say that? She's like,
Meredith, yeah.
oh, that's what I meant to say. It was Meredith. You insinuated that I too did ketamine. You insinuated.
God.
I first of all, this is a part that's very convoluted. I don't know what the fuck happened because this happened off camera.
Yeah,
was
I
this
have
at the
no
reunion?
They cut to it at the reunion because Andy alluded to, I guess, last season 3, that someone accused Meredith of being a pill popper. And I think Lisa's the one that was saying, because remember it happened. I do remember it happening in one of the episodes. Like, well, I heard she, pops pills or something.
What does that mean?
Well,
Tylenol,
exactly, etc. And who knows? But that's kind of how it got started on the reunion, and then the other stuff kind of came up. But
so Meredith is alleging that Whitney's the one that's telling people that she's on ketamine when Whitney is saying that no, she didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Is that the end of that?
I think, because it's all silliness, and the truth of the matter is,
it's stupid.
Meredith and Whitney don't like each other, so it's an easy, Meredith is pretending to be upset about the bathtub, which I actually really respect. That's one thing I can get really behind on Meredith. Like, she got some points for me with that. But like, they don't like each other, and the best part is like, well, Whitney, I think you're a liar. Well, I think you're a liar. All right, so where do we go? How do we move forward? It's like, what?
Fresh I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Fresh start.
So where do we move forward? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. It's like, oh my God.
I don't know what to believe. Dirty house, jabs.
Like, we have to give it to Whitney.
Oh my God.
We have to give it to Whitney. When in the confessional, because she's like, because Meredith was like, you're implying that I'm dirty. Well, I don't know, Meredith. You have 4 different homes, rental homes. I don't know.
I don't know where you live.
What is going on with that?
I don't know.
Again, I will never make judgments on people renting, people not owning, people owning, people.
Totally.
I don't give a fuck about any of that.
I feel like we're hiding.
We're hiding.
Exactly.
That's what it
That's the
is.
deal.
So let's call it what it is. We're hiding.
Yeah.
I clocked Jen Shaw's rental and rented furniture that you would get, when you're staging a house to sell.
Mm-hmm.
First season, first fucking scene. They go into the kitchen. I went, oh, this is rented and all this is staged. Yep. I was like, oh, I don't care. I know my O is like judgment. No. I just more of like, is this something that we're going to talk about? Of course
it's being
not.
presented as though it's the home that they own, that they.
But that's the problem.
Reality reckoning. That's what Bethany wants to stop. She wants to stop people trying to pretend they have more than they do.
God.
Thank you, Bethany.
I would kill.
Thank you for your work and your service.
Yes, I salute you. I salute you, Bethany. Mm-hmm. I just want to know why they keep having to rent. My guess is that before, I think that Meredith was another one of those housewives similar to Jessel, where she did have work in Salt Lake City, and I'm merely just speculating here. But I don't think she ever really lived in Salt Lake City. So in an effort to be a part of the show, they rent their house.
I think it was part-time because it was like they're Chicago, they were here, so I think it was kind of all around with what Seth's work was.
And then Seth tried to fucking move them to like Akron, Ohio. Goodbye.
Yeah, that was no.
Goodbye.
Hard pass.
Although they are like the fashion capital of like the fucking United States.
Yeah. Well, speaking
Fast
of
fashion.
Meredith,
Interesting.
Well, it's New York, but that's where like all the big.
What's his face? Les Wexler.
He should not be named. That trash man.
Yeah, he's trash, but that's
Victoria's Secret.
That's where and Abercrombie and all that.
That's where they have all of that.
But one thing before, because I know we're getting to the end, Meredith and Lisa's little breakaway, which was just like, God, that to me felt forced. It was like, you guys have to have like a quick conversation. You obviously are not like vibing each other, and pretty much it was just that as the conversation, like them not trusting one another and. They can't get a resolution, we can't get resolution when we're out in a group setting. So why don't we sit down and get coffee next week?
They can't get resolution off camera either. They can't get resolution in a one-on-one scene. They're never going to seek resolution. And honestly, what are we trying to resolve?
Exactly.
I actually don't. I'm being dead serious. And maybe, Betsy, maybe like you, I'm buttoning into a blackout. I'm like, I started the episode remembering last season, and now I'm like, wait.
I'm telling you.
I don't. It is like an episode of Black Mirror.
I'm telling you.
I remember what they were fighting about because we have the rant and the this. And really, I feel like all last season, it's just Meredith trying to dodge Lisa in a room. Yeah. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
So literally. So what the fuck exactly are we upset about? And I'm looking at Meredith because Meredith always has the most petulant things to be upset about.
Always.
And again, I'm not trying to trivialize, but like I'm not going to get wrapped up in what clearly felt to me Whitney making a funny to Page 6. Okay?
Yeah.
This is not the New York fucking Times.
Funny.
It's Page 6. For Christ's sake.
I know.
I think she just...
Like, what is she mad about? She has nothing to be mad about.
I don't know. And honestly, I couldn't tell you last season about anything that they went through. I don't know.
She's just upset about the rant and the 4 houses and fucking everyone in New York.
That's all it is.
But I don't know how it ended. Like, I don't remember how they ended. I don't remember. I honestly don't even know if I watched
Not
the
speaking to each other at the reunion. It was horrible.
Yeah.
God. Listen, I live in 2 worlds.
Then Heather had the black eye. There was a lot going on.
I live in two worlds and they're both delusional. I want to put that out there. Okay, they're both delusional. I live in a world that Lisa Barlow's enough for me. I could watch a Lisa Barlow spinoff. So do I really care if she mingles and mixes with everyone else? I don't know that I do. And so if she and Meredith never can come together, I'm okay with that. And then the other world I live in, there's just a part of me that so desperately wants them to be friends again because of how the season started. Now, do I think that there's a way for it to be super authentic looking at you, Meredith? I don't know. But I'm definitely over the feud, and especially since nothing new is happening.
Right.
I also think there's a severe level of kiss ass here. Meredith is like, okay, I see where everyone's aligning.
Yes.
I'm going to pull Lisa aside, and Lisa, smartly says in her confessional, well, I would miss me too. So that to me maybe is more of what it is, because we have to now align ourselves with not the prison people, but the people that people love, which is Lisa Barlow. But I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie. There is a little bit of me that is like, oh, if they could find their way back together, I wouldn't hate it, but I also am okay that Lisa Barlow stands on her own because she can.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I think that I don't think on the show they'll ever really be able to get back to where they were. And it's from an ego standpoint. Meredith, as a personality type, strikes me as someone who needs to feel like she is top dog.
Yeah, well, that's not going to
And
happen.
Lisa has been empowered for 3 seasons as a fan favorite, staying true to who she is. And she is kind of top dog.
I don't even think that it's that. I think that Lisa's more talented. I think there's an effervescence. There's a
100%.
personality. I think these are things that I think buried very deep. Meredith, I'm sure, is a cool person, but her disposition just reads a little stiff, a little cold, like unfun, like bacteria in your vagina. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've got bacteria in your vagina, and then the other one's like, 5 houses, fucking everybody in New York, here. You know what I mean? Like that right there is a juxtaposition, right?
God.
I'm disengaging. I did not blow anybody for Utah Jazz tickets. That's the juxtaposition, right? They're both being, for the most part, who they are, but like, Lisa's just cooler. She's goofier, she's cooler, she's funny, she doesn't take herself seriously, and then she absolutely takes herself way too seriously, but
comedy.
She doesn't care that you're laughing at her with her, right?
Because she is confident and self-assured in who she is.
And what's sad is that Meredith is also confident too, but Meredith's never gonna. Here's the thing. When you're working on these shows, there are cast members, they're all great for the most part. Like, you just kind of love everybody. Your cast is your family. You've seen it all. Like, not that long ago, it was like you see skid marks, you see this, you just see it all. So you're so ingratiated and you get it and you love them so much, but they're just not going to change. Like, they're not, like, the way that they are is just who they are. And sometimes that translates a certain way on camera. And Lisa Barlow is lightning in the bottle cast.
Yeah, she is.
It's so rare to find.
Yeah.
Like Brynn, lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Who else would you consider like lightning in a bottle?
I mean,
Garcelle.
Garcelle's great.
Garcelle's amazing.
Yeah.
They're just those cast members that kind of, they can chameleon, they can be anywhere, they can be thrown into anything, and they feel so self-assured that it oftentimes almost makes them feel delusional.
Yeah.
Because they're just like they're not like tone deaf and like completely detached. They're just like, what? You just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they just
totally.
come off delusional. Meredith, her disposition, unfortunately, I don't care how great she is, and I'm sure she's wonderful. Meredith also shared our first post, I think, on Reality Bites, but Meredith, don't listen to us. I don't mean anything I say. But all of that to say, Meredith is just always going to be Meredith. She'll never be able to compete because it's a totally different arena.
Yeah.
And if that is the case, which Meredith would be the first to tell you that she does not compare, which bullshit she does. She just tell you that she didn't care, but she does care, and she's never going to be Lisa. She's never going to be Lisa.
No, she's not.
No, you're not.
You're going to skin me away
Meredith,
like last year's Versace.
More so than Heather. I just absolutely loved you the first season. You were really my favorite, and then Lisa was the dark horse. But then Lisa, obviously.
Wait, Lisa was your favorite?
No. Meredith. In my first season, I loved Meredith.
So did
because
I.
I loved her speaking voice, the disengaging,
This is
that
where
was
I knew,
so funny.
And I called it.
And
I know you
Lisa,
said that. It's true.
Lisa, I always liked Lisa, but it was really, I loved both of them. And then I was like, oh, Lisa's the superstar, and Meredith is now, I feel like, I don't know, putting on a little bit of a front.
Called it.
Yeah, you did.
About the disengaging.
Very early on in season 1, I went, mm-mm.
This is only going to last one season.
I was like, Meredith, you better change it up next season because this is only going to last one season. No one wants to see I'm disengaging. Also, why does she, is it just me or this episode? Her voice sounds like she's on the verge of death. Like, have you noticed like certain scenes she'd be like,
No, I think she sounds the exact same.
I mean, I think that this is kind of how Meredith is.
Yeah.
oh, maybe I did black out, guys. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
Okay? I don't
Y'all,
know.
we're here.
I
We're
have
here.
hope.
Yeah.
I'm very encouraged by this episode.
I think all three of us, we were pleasantly surprised.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
I go into every
let's
show
see what happens.
low to no expectations.
Yeah.
Except for filming a show. I go into it with high expectations but not knowing what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but pleasantly surprised after seeing the first episode. And the way that it ended, too. The snowball fight that started off all dainty and sweet. And then the second you see Lisa Barlow get hit in the head with a snowball, it's like, oh, this is taking a turn. And then they start ripping each other.
But I do
go
think they
well.
were
And
having
rolling,
fun.
They were rolling
having fun,
around. It was a fun
It was like
activity.
like
It
a
was an
smash
activity.
room.
Yes.
My favorite.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Pleasantly surprised.
Well, I feel really encouraged.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
You exploited my vagina! Who said that? Who said
Whitney.
that in the trailer?
Whitney.
What is she talking
Who
about?
the fuck
Who
knows?
knows?
Didn't she exploit her vagina when the cake fell and she landed in it?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's
Well,
bacteria 2.0. Okay, we don't know.
Her husband getting laid off exploit her vagina?
I don't know, but I love the
That-
way Meredith goes, you want to talk about husband? Like, what?
Dude,
You want
Meredith,
to talk about husband?
she does this baby thing. Like,
I
like when
can't
you're
get
when
behind
like
it.
when you're doing choo choo and you're like feeding a baby, like, come on. You got
Let's
it?
talk
Come
about
on.
husband.
I can't. And honestly, I'm good. I don't need to see Seth, I don't think.
I'm good.
Here's what I'll say.
No.
I don't need to
I don't want to see any of the husbands.
I'll see Seth.
except for John, I guess.
I can't tell. Do I want to see Brooks or do I want to see Seth?
Which one's
Brooks?
is that?
Son.
Her son.
Oh, no, neither. Oh, if I have to pick, Seth.
Okay. That's what I was gonna pick.
I think Seth over Brooks.
Yeah.
Why is it?
He's annoying.
Right?
Yeah, he's just annoying. He's
Okay.
a little entitled. He's a little like.
But is he entitled or is he just annoying?
Oh, well, both. I
don't-
think both can be
He
true.
doesn't come across entitled, does he?
It's an air about him.
Yeah, I think he seems.
Like Meredith?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you noticed like
Apple tree.
that they're close? I'm just saying. Seth feels laid back to me.
Yeah. Brooks is Meredith's son.
Through and through.
Through and through.
That tracksuit. That fucking
That fucking
tracksuit.
tracksuit.
That
Yeah.
fucking tracksuit. Well,
Well,
guys, this is our first episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City,
City, baby.
season fucking 3.
I can't believe we made it here.
Neither can I.
Season 4.
I felt like the women in the key art. I just floated here on a big piece of ice. I also really love their key art this season.
looks good.
It's just we needed to get rid of the furs and like the white and
Enough of that.
everything. Well, it did because everything felt like a fucking Christmas Carol.
Yes.
It always feels like it's Christmas, not because of the snow, the bells and this was hot. I was like, oh yes, but it also was very indicative of what Sergio from Project Runway would say is our planet's melting. Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
A little climate change,
Little
Anyway,
climate
all right,
change.
guys. Don't want to keep you too much longer. Betsy's looking at me like, I need to go home now.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry for keeping you so long, Betsy.
Okay, I've been here since the beginning of the time, and the first NFL game is starting. So
Oh, shit.
Tonight?
Oh, fuck.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. What time?
in 3 minutes.
Oh, fuck.
I hope
okay.
you set your lineup.
Guys, thank you for joining us on this on this recap of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. As always, please do not forget to like and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. We are available on streaming platforms. Streaming.
Podcast platforms? Podcast.
Question mark?
Also, just want to give a shout out to Mecca93. 10 khakis, baby.
Oh my God!
Woo!
Thank you.
It's like a gangbang in here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Mecca93. Obviously, that's not your name. DM me. Give me a shout out with your name is. So if you do decide to donate again, I won't have to call you Mecca93. Anyway, all right, guys, thank you for joining us. We're so sorry. We have to go. We have to get off. Betsy has football. And so does executive producer.
Thank you.
Innocent bystander over here, okay? I'm a hard knock girl. All right. Have a
Goodbye.
great day and good
Bye, guys.